And welcome back to the TSF Entertainment Channel. It's your boy Retro CG, and I'm joined by Mr. Juggernaut of Souls in the building,
What's good?
Mr. Jack of Jordan's sound off,
What up, though?
and our beautiful ladies. We can't do the show without them, Miss Honey and Miss Really BTV in the building.
Hello,
Ashante, Ashante.
And tonight we have a special guest that's joining the panel with us tonight. I am going to introduce to you all Mr. Planet Paperboy. What's going on?
How you doing? How's everyone doing tonight?
Hey, how are
Welcome
you?
to the channel.
Good. I'm good. Excited to be here. Very excited to be here. Huge fan.
Glad to have
What's
you.
good?
I want to get some fresh blood and some different perspective. I'm excited.
I'm
Yes,
excited.
yes. Let's do this.
Fresh blood.
Tonight we're here to talk about Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. It's episode 209, Antitrust. I'm getting ready to hit y'all with the intro and we'll be back to talk about the show. Y'all ready to do this thing?
Oh yeah.
Let's go. And welcome back to the channel. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing?
What it do?
Good. We are
Can't
good.
complain. Can't complain.
Man, what y'all think about this episode?
This episode was a little turnt, man. We finally figuring out. Well, we ain't figured it out, but I mean, we definitely know for shit show that Famous is a crackhead.
Nah, Famous
Listen,
got a whole lot of other problems besides drugs right now.
Well, yeah.
Famous got hit with that stew your rinse do, motherfucker.
listen. I'm gonna say this. You know, the one thing I appreciate about last night's episode was that we did not predict everything. There was
No.
definitely some surprises last night, so
Yep.
I was appreciative of that.
I can say the same thing too because the ending was unpredictable.
Yeah,
I was ready,
none of us predicted that.
I was ready for it to happen, but I didn't expect for it to happen.
Yeah.
We knew it was coming, but it happened. It happened quick.
Very quick. I agree. Very
Yeah, I knew
quick.
eventually it was gonna happen, but I definitely didn't see it happening last night. So yeah,
I
I'm
thought
with you.
Sal ass was gonna go first.
Yeah.
Nah, he's the
You
king.
thought who was gonna go first?
I thought Sal was gonna actually get it first.
Sal's nobody. He's a bench warmer.
He's the caper for next week. He's the big caper for next week. The whole family gonna have to get together and take him out.
I'm surprised that Retro you haven't mentioned the juxtaposition between remember when Ghost killed old boy in the elevator? It was kind of the same thing, except it was like close combat.
Oh, I was
A little
going
bit.
You know you're our historical historian.
Had a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities with that scene.
A lot of similarities, the elevator scene, yeah.
Yep.
So I didn't think the episode was that great. I just felt like we wasted so much valuable time, especially being episode 9 on various things. You know, the bowling alley, just all of the crackhead energy. Like it was just, I felt like we could have been doing so much more.
So I guess that's a good place for us to jump in and dive into this thing. So we started the episode off with Jimmy at the bowling alley. We don't care. We don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care at all. We could have done without this. The only thing that we needed to see was Lulu come up and wet him up. That's all we needed to see. We didn't need to see him bowling his turkey. We didn't care.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
not care. Jimmy's excited like he just a drop a body. And you know, he should have been just like we said with Marvin last week. He should have been somewhere hiding out, but he out having the best night of his life, rolling him a turkey, whatever. He took his last drink, and
Right.
we see Lulu come up. Yo, wet him up.
That was season 1, Lou. I like that.
Yeah.
Right, because for whatever reason, I guess they never expected that there would be retaliation. Like, would you thought Rock was just gonna let that slide? Like,
well, first of all, you didn't
and
get
the fact that you didn't even get Marvin. Like, why y'all having a good time? You didn't even get Marvin. You didn't even get who you went to get.
Yeah.
Why you not at work trying to get Marvin? Like you taking a break and going bowling? No, there's a hit. Like
the job ain't done.
What are we working on?
Right, the job is not done, bruh.
Yeah, ain't over with.
So I guess Renee, I was a little frustrated with this. I guess Renee was just a prop.
They gave us our innocent victim.
Yep. We have to have one. The civilians, they don't make it in the Power universe or whatever. But I'm frustrated because we spent so much time with her character. We spent way too much time for her character for her to be slaughtered. She was just a plot point for Marvin's story. She was a plot point just to be killed. They should have spent we should have had a little bit more time with Renee, and they were kind of developing a relationship between her and Marvin that didn't go anywhere.
I think she was the twist to Marvin changing or trying to change over to this good person. I think she was kind of like I don't want to say guardian angel, but it's kind of like the guilty, the good conscience on one side and the bad conscience on the other side. And I think she just was kind of like the good conscience for him to develop into the person who's about to get ready to have a crackhead bite him back in the ass.
I agree. Yeah. I think that's what the purpose was. But I'm gonna be honest, I would have enjoyed maybe her getting shot and Marvin being there with her while she got better, and it built their relationship. And then we could see change in Marvin as it progressed. You know what I'm saying? I actually would have appreciated that more than what we saw, because I'm with you. I think it was just to show the change in Marvin, but I don't feel like we needed that for us to show. Like, I feel like what happened between him and Jukebox last season and what happened with Kenya and everything, I feel like that was enough of a catalyst to show Marvin wants to do better. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We spent too much time with this character for her to end the way she did.
And Marvin seems to have a lot invested in her. I mean, he cried.
Yeah, he definitely had some feelings for it. My eyes watered up.
Yeah. And I said on my review, I think, like a lot of these shows do, they film a lot of different alternative endings. And they think that when they go to splice and put it together, that's when they put it together, because it was kind of weird how they did it. Like, we've got this funeral and he's crying and it's emotional. But outside of that, her name isn't brought up. He doesn't really talk about it. Like, it's weird.
Right. Even Juke was like, how was your funeral?
I also, excuse me if I can, I also felt like she wasn't justified. I felt like she earned more than just a death that we didn't even see. I didn't really see anybody get hit. I thought she should have earned more of a dramatic going out.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
Yeah, no, that was just
I mean, can we see them land on the ground? Can we see him like
something
holding her body, like
something?
Yeah, I agree.
Something.
They accelerated at least by a week. I guess it's safe to say maybe a week goes by, a couple of days go by. I mean, we're at her funeral, so
right.
It would have been good to see Marvin process all that, and even if it was just in a flashback, even while he was standing there at the graveside, he could have flashed back to that night.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
If they would have gave us that would have been more than what we got, just him by the graveside. So that was a little.
I mean, we left that out, but we left bowling in, right?
Right.
Like, a lot of time with Sam this episode, but we didn't hear the conversation between Howard and Rock, which is why she sent Marvin to manage Sam. We didn't even hear her elaborate on, why Sam needed to be managed. Like, these are like all the conversation, I think, which would have given this episode a little bit more validity, in my opinion.
The funny thing with that whole bowling scene was just like, man, like, did you know he was alive at this time? Like, y'all was just bowling like it was sweet. Like,
like it was a scene they shot for another reason, and they just popped it in.
With the time frame of everything, it's like, how much time went by that either you got them or you didn't get them, but y'all bowling either way, and y'all just chilling. Like, man, okay, you walking out to your car, and man, everything's smooth. Because if you missed, I'm really hoping that you should have been on your toes, but I mean, you weren't.
Amateurs, I guess, not really in the
Right.
in the stages.
Another botched hit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Miss Sharon
yeah.
had a good point there.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with this mafioso, but this mafioso ain't hitting it.
Nah, a little, yeah,
Wow.
a little amateurish. But maybe maybe that was the point. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe so. So speaking of spending too much time with characters, we know who Sam is. We know what Sam's about. You know, this just seems repetitive. I mean, he gets rounded up every other episode or whatever the case may be. And you know, he's pissing in the park. You know, the cops roll up on him. He's robbed the bodega of some candy or whatever. And you know, he tries to use a get out of free card by saying, "I know who shot the detective in the park." Like,
Yep.
dude, you're a crackhead. Ain't nobody gonna believe anything you said.
That's facts. That's facts. DJ, Fresh Your Highness. They probably was just real lax at the fact that, well, hey, we shot at them, we missed, but ain't nothing gonna happen to us. So yeah, that could have been a gutsy move, but shit, I mean,
Not only that, but you also see that Sal doesn't fear them. He doesn't fear them. Part of the fact is because Rock is a woman, and so he don't think of her and her organization as a real threat. So, but this is the second time that y'all don't try to hit them and missed. Y'all should have been on. Y'all should have switched it up a little bit when y'all was up at the Catskill.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with what you
The
saying.
Catskills is where they lost their reputation, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree with you
They
saying.
get zero
Retro,
street cred.
I agree with what you saying to a small extent. But with this episode, I think I kind of once we get to that scene, I'll come back to what you just said because to an extent I do believe he doesn't fear them.
No, he doesn't fear them. He doesn't think of them as a threat. I think it's not until now that okay, you know, she's getting a drop on your people and you haven't dropped none of theirs. She's
Not
getting a
one.
drop on your people, and so now you're kind of like, let me do a little fact checking on her, which you should have done the first time around.
Was
But
do some fact checking, right?
when you came back from the Catskills and she got the drop on you there, you should have been prepared for the second approach. When you
Yeah.
approached the second time, you should have had your A game. It's just like when they rolled by her house, you know, y'all should have wet up the security that was out in front of her house. And the security should have shot at them. Like, y'all know who each other are. Y'all just ride by, size each other up. I thought that was unrealistic. All right, so like I said, like we all knew, Famous wasn't gonna be able to pay this rent. I don't know why Famous moved into this apartment and think that he was going to be able to live here rent free.
This is a rooming. This is just the room. Let's stop calling it an apartment. Basically,
Famous don't try that. Famous don't try that falling down the stairs shit either.
Yeah. I like that movie. That's a good one. That's a good quote.
Famous is asking his landlord for a payment plan, and the man said you got to pay first in order to have a payment plan. You ain't got no money. Run me my money. So we finally find out that the landlord and his girl is being getting studio time with Crown. I don't know what favor they were doing for Crown to get the free studio time. That was kind of unclear because it wasn't until Famous moved into the building that they were hooking them up with the rent. So what were they giving Famous in exchange for the free studio time? It's unknown at this point. The landlord is like, listen, you got 2 days to get this rent money up or your ass is up out of her. So Famous like, well, let me see if I can get you, your studio time back. He's like, I highly doubt that you can pull that off.
extra pissy Kiwan.
Right. Extra pissy mattress in the corner.
I just never. It was so ridiculous. So ridiculous. I was like, what are they positioning Famous for with all of this?
I agree.
I really don't understand what they're positioning Famous for.
I think I know what they're positioning him for, but let's just see what some of the chat says about it. So Famous is begging, trying to figure out a way to get this rent money up. But shouldn't that have been your focus when you first moved there?
Right.
Listen, the show is about the dude
I
that
mean,
faded out in the background.
he done missed a couple of months already. Sound like.
Right.
Because I mean, he ain't knocking on your door for just one payment. He said you behind.
Oh wow! I thought Crown was like maybe paying all his rent money for some reason. I didn't even think he would even have to even worry about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the original plan, was that he was good, but when Crown disappeared, dude ain't getting his studio time no
That's
more.
right.
He's like,
That's
well, listen, if I'm not getting my studio time, I need my rent. But I do think
Gotcha.
that was the plan. I don't think that Famous ever thought he was gonna have to pay no money.
Maybe you're right. Okay. So we see Rock finally gets her house. She
That ain't
doesn't.
nobody ever gonna live in.
That ain't nobody. She
It
ain't
was
gonna
so
live in
sad.
it.
It was so
Yeah, I
sad.
was gonna say she ain't even gonna live in it.
She ain't gonna even live in it, right? That was just something for her to wash $100,000 real quick, because she ain't gonna live in that house. Ain't nobody gonna stay there. Well, maybe her and Juke will stay there together. They roommates. So
Is that the house?
Only
Is
Kanan
that
knows
the
where she lives,
is
technically.
that is that the house where Jukebox gets killed by Kanan in Power, like the original Power?
you know
What?
what? Someone said that in our comments this week. I can't remember who it was. Was it Lady V? I think Lady V brought that up. Somebody brought that up this week in our comments that they
Yeah,
thought it
that
was the same house that Jukebox had kidnapped Tariq in, and it could be.
It
that
looks
would be nuts. That would be
like
crazy.
the Home Alone house.
It does look like the Home Alone house. Not just saying.
Well, you know what? Now that would be interesting, because then if that, if we go down that road for a second, then what that says is somehow Jukebox had control of the house, meaning when Kanan went away to jail, so either
Yep.
either Rock left the house to them when she left town, or she's
Yep.
dead. And
Dude,
maybe
y'all
that house has been
died
sitting
in that
empty. Maybe
apartment.
Yeah,
that is
I
the same
agree.
house, because the house was empty. Remember, it was an empty house.
It was a
Yes, it
bad.
was.
It was a
Yep.
bad house. Yep.
I can
We
see
have to
Rock
go back
leaving it
and
in
look at
Jukebox
that.
name because Rock and Jukebox are real close. I can see Rock leaving it in Jukebox name.
Yeah, we have to go back and now. See, now y'all gonna make me go back and look to see if
Well,
that's the
she
same
did
house.
say this episode that was one thing everybody knew about Juke, is she was the most trustworthy
Yep.
out of everybody.
Yep.
Yep.
I thought she died in that little apartment she had her girlfriend in, and had them all living in there.
Mm-mm. No, that was Breeze's apartment that they were squatting in. No,
Oh,
that was Breeze's apartment they were squatting in.
I
But when
thought that was the apartment she got shot in.
mm-mm. No, remember when Ghost and Kanan had went to go rob Tommy's stash house that night? He was going to meet up with Jukebox. Jukebox was already here because remember she had kidnapped Tariq earlier in the episode.
Oh, and had him there.
Yeah, had him
Yep.
there. Yeah. So y'all might be onto something with this house. That might be it.
We
I'm
have that
back
scene,
forward.
but it's from the inside of the house.
Yeah. Well, they showed a little bit of the outside of the house, but it was nighttime too. It was nighttime too. Y'all go ahead and keep on talking. I'm gonna see can I find that scene real quick.
That's one
Yeah,
of
I
my
thought
biggest
that was
issues with.
bad.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say anything. Right? I mean that's one of my biggest issues with the show is that how would Kanan just kill Jukebox after seeing the relationship that they have here? They seem so close in the 2 seasons that I've seen. I mean, here for him just to shoot her like that, it just seems like something had to happen in between for them to have some kind
Yeah,
of falling out.
their relationship was strained somewhere. I'm hoping they get that to us too.
I mean, in Raising Kanan, we've not really seen him give two issues about Juke. Like
Mhm.
seriously, she's a listening ear for him. He never asks her about herself. He
Good
never
point.
asks her about her situation. He really doesn't. He's not invested in her at all. She's just there to be a sounding board for him. She's always looking out for him. Even when she told him about how Famous was being extra handsy with her, he wasn't
Hmm.
even like, "Ghost, take your hands, don't put your hands on my cousin," woo woo woo, which I know most male cousins would be that way. he,
Yeah,
he's never really been invested in Juke, in my opinion. We haven't seen it on this show,
You're
so
right. Yeah.
it's not far fetched to see that you know, they wouldn't have no love lost because he wasn't never really down for her no way. He lacked self-awareness. Thank you, Kiwan.
No, you got a good
Yeah,
point there.
yeah. I mean, she sat in front of him last episode with that swollen hand, and she was back to braiding her hair down. He never said, "What's up with you? Like, what's going on with you?" Nothing, nothing, nothing at all.
No, you're right. He does have that selfish mentality. You're absolutely right.
Even though we talked about last week that he was scared of her. The older Juke, he was scared of older Juke.
Okay, so here's the house. It doesn't look like it's the same house. So
If it
in
is, that would
episode,
be amazing, like on some Marvel type
Yeah,
connectivity.
that would be
so in
dope.
episode 406, New Man in Power is what episode it is. It could be the same house. Maybe it was intended to be the same house, but I don't think it's exactly the same house. But boy, that would be dope if it is.
That'd be wow. That'd be
That
something.
would be crazy, yo.
That would be crazy. All right, let me go before YouTube flags us.
They watching. They always watching.
Fans watching. So I knew that we were going to spend some time on that. I knew that we were going to spend some time on that as far as that house is concerned. Um, I still think that Rock is probably not going to end up living in this house. She gonna be
That
by
house is a
herself.
front.
Right. maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's going to be her new stash house. Maybe that's where it's going to be, her new stash house. Sal is meeting that with the rest of the mafioso. They playing cards or whatever, and some of the mafioso is like, look, she don't got to drop on Jimmy, she don't got to drop on your son or whatever, And I'm irritated with this scene, but we get it that they're racist. We get, but all the ninja references just send some up my spine every time.
Right.
Yeah.
They was just like playing. What was they playing? Playing poker in like a Legion or something like that.
Although they were out American Legion, yeah, I guess.
Or like a little American Legion, and they're just chilling.
That's true, Authentic Leon. I mean, he killed his own son, so I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise that they would kill his own cousin too. But it just speaks to how ruthless he is. But I mean, we know that he learns a lot of that from his mom because his mom is just cold blooded. She don't
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but both of them seem to leave that family dynamic with the same cold-bloodedness. He and you.
Yeah, that's true. Again, we're spending too much time with Sam. Sam is down here at Central Booking. He getting booked. He trying everything he can not to go in that cell. Yo, I got something to tell y'all. And they ain't buying.
I know things. I be knowing things.
They ain't going for it at all. Only person that's going for it is Bert. Like, come on, man. Of course she would be here. Of course she would just be happening along. Of course she would overhear what he's saying.
Looking like olive oil.
I can't stand her. Please take her.
But she isn't she can't do anything because the captain told her not to, be buttoned into his
Right.
partner's
And then he
business.
immediately went down and harassed Rock down at the
Yeah, this
A&P.
can get in trouble too.
A&P?
Yeah, it seems so late that they would even do anything about it. Like, what's he gonna do even if he does admit it?
Right. And it looks like Rock has a Joe Proctor of her own. So with Rock's attorney, they would eat that up on cross-examination. Like,
Yeah.
your witness is not reliable. Your witness is not reliable. So Bert,
Your witness is a crackhead.
right? Bert, what do you think you're going to get out of this? You're not going to get nothing.
Okay, so sidebar, was Rock's lawyer this episode the same lawyer that Marvin had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same dude?
Wow, I didn't notice that. Wow.
Yes.
I wondered, because I wanted to know if she was getting a lawyer to help this other dude, but did she get a lawyer to help Marvin?
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
Can we get a disconnection notice out for Bert, please?
I think we're gonna send multiple notices. We need to verify an address at this point because we keep sending them, and her services haven't been disconnected yet. So.
Well, we did learn when she was post coitus talking to her twin, who she's
No,
sleeping
she
with.
was
A twin.
It's definitely weird. They look
Yeah, a
too much
little bit.
alike.
They do.
Yeah,
They
it's like
definitely
secretly sleeping with herself. So
do.
when she said she just knows all of this is gonna blow up and it's gonna blow back on her, and her partner was like, how is it gonna blow back on you? You're the only one investigating it.
Right. Like if you leave this alone, you leave well enough alone. Uh, talk about Rock's attorney is Terry Silver's dad. Like,
It does kind of look like that.
hey, no, I
Tasha
feel like it
also
could be
smelled
related
weird.
to Terry Silver.
I can see the connection now.
I do see the connection. Oh my goodness, that's a good one, DeMarcus. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired of Burke. I wish Burke going about our business. Another thing I'm tired of this studio, and here a person who loves music, but I
Yes.
know Lulu's house got burned down last season, but I'm beginning to think he lives here at the studio at this point. And
Seems so.
I'm not here for none of Aziza's music. She sounds terrible. I'm tired of her. Take her too. If we get her and Bert like a 2-for-1 special, I'll be happy. You know, I'm
It's
ready for her
nothing
to go
really
too.
going on here though. Not music wise. The most the best thing that went on here was Crown's death. Like that was a pretty good
Yep.
theme. But ever since then, this is what we've gotten. Their backs, them looking at each other, and Ziza stiffly dancing in the window. Like, I don't know. I thought the
They would
studio
have.
was going to be a little bit more pivotal, but I don't think it is going to be.
It would have been better if they had jukebox doing some tracks in there somehow, some way. It would have been a little more interesting. But
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah,
more activity from even from Fame.
famous. At this point,
Something
you want
like
to see
they
some
don't
other
have any
artists.
other artists or
Exactly.
anything. Like studios are normally jumping.
yeah, you're right. Good
But
point by not having Famous in there. Famous should have been in there. They did too much with his whole music career in the first season for them to just be wasting it right now, in my opinion.
yeah, that is
First season, he was always kind of rapping and
Mhm.
pretending to rap. They was writing and just this season is I don't know. He's just been the information. He's just been the person moving information back and forth. Somebody for Kanan, the Kanan character follow after. I mean, if we go back and count the scenes, I bet you we're probably going to find a lot more scenes in dialogue between Famous and others as opposed to Kanan. We really have not gotten a lot of Kanan this season.
Yeah.
Think about it as a whole.
Burke
And
is trying.
Famous is just Braden 2.0.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
Braden 2.0. Yep,
yeah,
yep. But
agreed.
at least when Crown was running the studio, he had other people in here. He had other artists. Lulu ain't got but one artist he concentrated on at one time, and that's it. I need Bulletproof Records to get him an A&R rep.
No idea what he's doing. He has no idea.
Yeah. So speaking of Famous comes in and begs Lulu for help on getting the studio time for his landlord. And of course, Cartier has to insert himself into the situation. That's another thing that irritates me. He's like, this ain't none of your business, Cartier. You ain't got nothing to do with this, but you got to insert yourself in everything with your philosophical quotes that you come up
Yeah,
with. Oh, he gets on my fucking nerves.
he's annoying.
He's very annoying. And so basically he tells Famous, which I feel like he was the one who kind of planted the seed. What watered the seed was when they were at the pizza place and they seen Freddie came in. He was like, yo, I'm broke as hell. And Freddie stay paid. Cartier had kind of already planted the seed. He was like, listen, you keep coming in here begging for help or whatever the case may be. Go out here and learn how to eat on your own. Go out here and take care of your own business or whatever the case may be. So Cartier kind of planted the seed in Famous's head that, listen, the only way that you're going to get by is get out here and get it for yourself. In which I kind of agree with him in that respect, because at this point, your best friend is paying your rent. Your best friend is feeding you. Like, you're not going to school. Go get a job. I mean, something. But you want everyone in the family and everybody else's family to be concerned about your living situation. That's not the
This was one of my favorite. I really enjoyed this scene. Actually, I love that the more Cartier talked, the more Famous kept looking at Lou like,
Help me.
Seriously? Are you gonna say anything? Like, I thought you were in charge. Like, he was like, I'm about to be homeless. He says, get you a ride, okay, cut you some bait. He looks so
That was
he's
funny.
like, are you, who is this guy? Like, what's all this poetry he's giving me? I'm like,
Cartier is Simon Stir and Lulu is Ghost, yeah, because that's how Simon Stir was shaking Ghost down at that club. Yeah.
he has gone to everybody but Rock, though.
I guess I can agree with y'all as far as the advice he gave Famous was on point. It's just that I guess I don't like the character. I never have liked the character, so I guess that's why I don't really too much care for his scenes as much, because I kind of feel like we went around the world to get to where we already knew where we were going to end up with this character, especially with him one Rock. We shouldn't have took 9 episodes to get to this point.
I thought he was going to
I
be
agree.
in for a minute, though. I really did. I wasn't
I did
expecting
too.
them to, but I wasn't expecting it with Mecca either, though. I thought that was a real lame way to go out with Mecca, and it's the same way here.
But it goes back to what I say about them following the DNA from the other Power shows. We know that whenever we get introduced to a new villain, they get eliminated the same season that they get brought in. They did the same thing with Milan. I think the only one that kind of hung around for a couple of seasons was Lobos. After that, they dropped the new villain. We'll have a new one next season. You know,
Maybe they're afraid that the villain will become more popular.
Yeah.
Than who the show's really about. You know.
Yeah.
Or
maybe that's
main
why
characters.
they do that.
Yeah, I think that's where they make a mistake. I think the more you get to know a character, the more devastated you are with whatever he does. And if he does end up, dying one episode, it's more devastating and makes you want to watch more. So I think the fact that they drop these people off so quick is the reason why these seasons aren't as impactful as the other Power.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, because I really feel like Cartier
wildly popular.
Yeah, and I feel like Cartier had more story to tell. Like I mean, it definitely would have got real dicey between Rock trying to play that, trying to walk that tightrope with, keeping him on the line but not giving him nothing, because I don't think she was gonna give him none. And then you had the whole situation with the studio with Lulu. Like, it definitely could have gotten complicated, but I really feel like that's a storyline they could have put on the back burner till next season. She's got more than enough to deal with the Italians that she didn't. They really could have held on to that story. That could have been a very compelling war for next season between her and Cartier, especially since she's slowly turning his people against him. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been a great. I mean, I don't know what they have in store for next season, but that would have been a great storyline to just hold him off until next season. Like, we only had 2 episodes left. We just didn't need to see him again. They didn't need to do anything with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They could have had him go back to DMV, and he could have just been off camera for the remainder of the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't care about Ziza in the studio, so we didn't need to see him there.
Yep.
And as far as Rock don't have time for no caviar dinner. She fighting a whole war. She dealing with her son who ain't speaking to her. She dealing with the police closing in on a murder investigation. She dealing with the Italians going to war. She still got Juliana in the bodega mad at her. Like, she got other stuff to deal with.
And not to mention her issues with her own son.
That's what I said. Her son not even speaking to her. So she has other, like, we just didn't need to see Cartier. After he made the proposal, that was enough for this season. You carry that over the next season. That's a problem. She just can't deal with that.
She can't deal with it right now, right? I'll deal with that later, right? And you know what? I guess that's another thing that gets me frustrated about these spinoffs is because they spend so much time building up these side characters, and I'm not going to say to the point where we get vested in them, but get to a point where we're interested in them. And then they just kill them off, just to further story along. Just like they did with Gloria and Force. Just like they did, with Carrie Milgram in book 2. It's like you spend so much time with these side characters developing their story, and then here comes
nobody cared about Carrie.
And that's a good example that all those characters he brought up, they all died off screen. They didn't even get an on-screen death.
Carrie got them told.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a
gonna
lot
really
of
do me like
off-scene
that?
stuff going
Really?
on in this season.
Really? You really gonna do me like that? Y'all know
Oh,
how I
you
feel
talking about
about
Pinky
Carrie.
Toe?
Yeah, y'all
Right.
know how I feel about Carrie. Anyway, I'll process that later. Jukebox. Jukebox is at home washing dishes. Rock comes in, and she's so happy that her roommate is cleaning up and picking up after herself. And
Not the roommate cleaning up.
that's what they are. They're roommates. Uh, so we have
Basic.
this conversation between Rock, where Rock is kind of asking Jukebox, did Kanan tell you about what's going on between me and him? Like she's basically telling Jukebox that, look, this house don't feel the same without Kanan being here. It's like I'm reaching for something I can't get. Everything I'm doing for Kanan. And part of me wants to believe that she's not lying. But another part of me is that Rock thinks that by her saying that she's doing everything for Kanan, that it justifies her the way she's doing it. You
Yep,
know, you know,
absolutely correct.
she's not 100% fully to blame about the situation. The only thing that she's at fault is that she's not being honest with Kanan with what's going on. And I think that's where he's more so frustrated with her about is like, you're not being honest with me, you know. But y'all notice Rock got that red dress on again. Y'all know when she wearing that red dress. It's the devil in the
I,
red dress.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm talking about skin tight, waist cinch. Rock gave us nothing but Jessica Rabbit this whole season, and then in the end, she gave us Cruella Deville. Like she's a brick house for sure, for sure.
She is.
She been sharp this whole season, even her
Yeah.
whole Michael Jackson montage of looks.
We find out that Detective Howard is a Muslim, so he's going in to pray, and do his little worship, and it's also an opportunity for him to spend a little time with Kanan, where
Privately.
privately, yes, and not in fear of someone seeing them together, because he made a comment about them being across town or whatever the case may be. But I really appreciate how Howard is moving. Like he didn't throw a rock under the bus. He took the high road.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. Okay.
But
To a
go
certain
ahead.
extent, but I think I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
But I also think that part of the reason why he's taking the high road and he's not shifting all the blame on Rock is because he's partially responsible for what went down. Go ahead, really.
That's actually kind of what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I could appreciate that he didn't throw Rock under the bus because he knows that right now he has Keenan's ear and he really could have. But let's not, like, if he admits, oh well, yeah, Rock knew all along, then that opens up the door for more questions. Well, how did she know? Like, wasn't she with DEF CON? Now that opens up the whole conversation about really Rock being DEF CON's beard, and like that opens up a whole nother can of worms if he gets too deep into what Rock had going on. Because I'm still frustrated that ain't nobody asking the real questions. Because if I'm Kanan and I come from this crime family, we don't talk to the cops, we don't snitch, we don't do this. What the hell was my mama doing at 16 years old, sleeping with a cop while she was married / dating a whole drug dealer? Like, I would be having those kind of questions. Why ain't nobody asking that question?
And those are the questions that I feel like he was telling Kanan that he needed to ask his mama.
Right.
Like, this is a conversation that you need to be having with your mama, because, I can't necessarily have this conversation with you. And that's the missing piece. And I've said this over and over this season. I think that is the missing piece. And what Kanan, you get it. You find out it's your father, but you really need to be trying to put the connection together on how did my mom end up being with a cop?
Right. Like, while she was with a drug, it wasn't like, oh, well, once upon a time, my mom was a good girl and she just dated a cop and then became a hustler's hoe. No. She was with DEF CON while she was like, these are the questions I would have, but that's just me.
Which makes me feel like she snitched on DEF CON to get him out of the way so she could take over.
Which is another reason why Howard don't want to get into that.
What's crazy is that Kanan has so much. He's got so many questions and so much anger, but he still just will not talk to Rock. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that he's this wound up, but he cannot bring himself to talk to her a bit. And the thing of it is, it's not just something simple like you took Tendo, right? Like parents want to talk about that you tried to kill one of them at the other end. I just don't get it.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get why we didn't get more Kanan this season along that vein. Like that really would have been putting the pressure on Rock.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to see her and Kanan together a lot at all. Even after they made that pact in the Catskills that they was gonna run this thing like a family, no secrets. Woo, 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 woo. Well, we didn't see him riding out with her. Like we all know that that's really how you groom a protege. You show them how you do it. We didn't see any of that. They have kept Kanan sort of in the hazy background of this season, this entire season.
Kanan can't even go from
the opportunity. She gave him the opportunity to ask whatever questions he needed to ask, because when they were in the Catskills, she was like, no secrets. And then even when she brought him over to the house last week, she was like, "This, say it, boy. You know, whatever's on your mind, get it off your chest." But he's afraid to question his mom. He's afraid to ask.
He doesn't want to hear it out loud.
He's afraid of the answer that he's going to get, or he's just afraid to ask her.
I think he's afraid of the answer.
I think so too.
Because just like he told Howard, he said, "Man, I didn't need no test. I knew you was my daddy, but if I accepted that, then I had to question my mom, and I wasn't ready for that." He's like, I didn't need no test. But once you accept it, now you got to deal with the consequence of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you find out your significant other is cheating. All the signs are in your face. You know they're cheating, but the minute you accept it, now you got to do something about it. Either you're gonna work it out or you're gonna leave.
Right.
Now you got to confront it. Now you got to deal with the bullshit and all of that. So it's kind of easier sometimes to be like, okay, well, I mean, I know I found 20 text messages and emails and, and pictures and panties under the bed. Like, I know I have all these signs, but he ain't really cheating because I don't want to deal with what really happens now that I accept the fact that he's cheating.
DeMarcus, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate it.
DeMarcus, you be loving us. You be loving us.
DeMarcus comes through every week on the love, man. Appreciate that. I wonder if Kanan think Rock is a snitch now because he know Howard is his father. And I think in the back of his mind, that's exactly what he's asking himself.
I think so too.
He's afraid to ask his mom.
I honestly think maybe she was manipulating the detective. That's why she did it. Just so she could have the detective in the back of her hand or in her back pocket.
And we see that they do. We see that they have that relationship.
Planet Paperboy, like JLJ.
I'm sorry, he kind of cut up. Say what?
Yeah, she was spotting and bopping, basically.
Yep.
I don't think so. I don't think she was starting and bopping. I really don't.
But for him to say, "Oh yeah, she was 16," it's kind of he hasn't put it all together too. You know what I'm saying? Well, she was 16 years old. But he doesn't say that she's a snitch. Maybe like Really B said, he don't really want to hear himself say it out loud. And he kind of, when Juke said, "Hey, same thing you did with Palomar," he was like, no, that's different because I'm a dude.
But another thing
I don't know. Was he saying that he thought his mom was taking advantage of, or was he saying that he thought his mom was starting and bopping? Like, I didn't get what that conversation, where he was going with that.
Well, this is where I take away from that. I think that what's important to put a pin in is when Kanan got ready to go down that road, Detective Howard shut it down real quick and was like, "Well, you know what? I don't want to talk about the past. We just need to focus on the future."
He's like, "We're going to talk about me and you right now."
Right. So to me, that says that he's culpable in whatever happened between him and Rock that led to her having Kanan. I'm not going to say he full out forced himself on her and, on her. But I'm going to say that probably, he took advantage of her. And the fact that she was young and the fact that she was dating a drug dealer, that would have been a big case for him that probably made him. Two is eliminating two birds with one stone type of situation, because now she can move in and take DEF CON's place. You know, so maybe it was a mutual agreement between the two of them that we're going to take DEF CON down. You're going to take his place, because you could see that they have even after what she's tried to do, even with her trying to unalive him, they still have that you scratch my back, I scratch your back type relationship.
Yeah.
Where if she's in trouble, she gonna call him. If he got something that he needs for her to take care of off camera, he's gonna call her and say, you need to handle that, just like he tried to tell her to handle Symphony, just like he told her about Scrappy, just like he told her about the crackhead this. So, you know, they got a relationship where they're still helping each other out.
That is true. They do. They really do have that dysfunctional kind of relationship.
Yeah, they have a very dysfunctional relationship.
It kind of gives you also like that whole vibe of how you hear about how Ghost and Tasha did Kanan and how Ghost killed Breeze.
Yep.
It kind of gives you them vibes.
Well, I think that I think that the whole situation with Breeze was no more than what Rock is trying to do with Cartier right now. Is I want that spot. Now let's get rid of the boss, and I'm going to become the new boss. Because of what Kanan had did for them, took them in, raised them, you know, gave them an opportunity to eat. He didn't feel comfortable with dropping Kanan, even though Tasha wanted to drop Kanan. So, you know, they came up with this whole scheme to, you know, send him off to jail or whatever, which we saw later on down the line that came back and bit him. But so I think it's very interesting that maybe Howard kind of manipulated Rock into being his snitch, so to speak. And some way they became, you know, sexually involved with each other. And, you know, when she got pregnant, you know, it became easy because at the end of the day, if Howard knew that DEF CON was playing left field, like he said he knew all along, when she turned up pregnant, you should have had questions then. But I think at the time, it was easy for them to push it off on DEF CON because he was getting ready to get charted off to jail or whatever the case may be. He didn't want to accept the fact that, you know, I just made a 16-year-old pregnant. So it just became easy to get invested in this whole scheme. And now that he has this whole sense of morality about himself, or a portion of morality, now I want the truth to come out.
But I thought they said last season that by the time she was pregnant, he wasn't undercover.
He didn't know.
He did know. He did know because he said in that episode there was at the park. In that episode when they were at the park, they had a whole conversation about that.
Oh, you know, Howard knew DEF CON because he knew DEF CON was gay because I don't think Howard knew that Rock was pregnant because remember, no, the reason why I say that is because remember last season when Kanan came in there and he said who his father was, that's what made him even be like,
because he would look at the data.
And that's what made him check the year and stuff.
Yep.
I don't think he knew Rock was pregnant.
Okay, so you're right about that part. He did not know that she was pregnant. You're right. But he did know that.
He knew DEF CON was gay.
Yeah.
Because that was the two things that made him feel like something wasn't right was one, the year that Kanan, the age that Kanan was, and the fact that he said DEF CON was his father. Those were the two things that made him be like, nah, something ain't right here.
Yep. And the year that he got locked up. Yep. Burke is back here at Captain Baptiste's office worrying the hell out this man. This man said he got a lot of paperwork to do. Burke, what you want? And she come in here with some bullshit as, oh, well, I got a witness that is kind of recanting their story. You know, how should I approach this? And he gives her advice or whatever, but he looking at her side eye. No sooner does she go out that door, he on the phone with IA, Internal Affairs, reporting her ass. She up to something. Go check out. Go check out.
Misplaced scene too. Like, I didn't understand that. You know, he gives her the thumbs up and then calls IA. Like, it was just weird.
Yeah.
He gave her a thumbs up because he giving her enough rope to hang herself. He's like,
and that's
yeah,
exactly what he's doing.
That's exactly what I thought too.
What you better not be doing. So go ahead.
Yep.
He does know DeMarcus. He know that man gay. He said it.
Yeah.
Go back to last season. He said it. He when him and Rock was having one of their little late night rendezvous when it was in them first couple of episodes when he confronted Rock. He said that
when they were walking in the park.
He knew DEF CON was. Everybody seemed like everybody knew DEF CON was gay.
Well, Well,
I don't know
if
who
the
she was a
streets-
beard for, because it seemed like everybody knew the man was gay.
You know what? Wait a minute.
No, he didn't know.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and look because I
told
thought
him. She
I gotta do
told
the same. I'm not even sure.
You might be right. Keep it cute. Keep it cute says that she told him that.
Yeah, she told him.
that, yeah,
She was
that
like,
calls
she
him.
was like, she was like, he was pitching left or he was pitching something, and then he was like, oh, DEFCON was a fairy. Yeah.
Wow.
okay, but I stand corrected because I could have sworn. I stand corrected.
I
Man.
can swear it too. I got to go back and look at
I'm gonna have to go back and look because I'm almost certain.
Yeah,
that
I thought he said,
that-
"Come
that
on."
he-
She made a reference to him to DEF CON, and he was like, "Come on now, you and
Yeah,
I both know."
she did. She said he was left-handed.
I thought Howard said that.
No, that was Rock said that.
I'm gonna have to go back. All right, I stand corrected. My bad. I stand corrected.
I'm not 100% sure, so I can't argue. I can't argue either point. I'm not 100% sure, but you know
Me
when
either. I thought
when
I
I'm
was,
sure
but I
I'm
ain't
gonna argue
now.
to a fault. So I'm gonna roll with our chat because you know they be on point. I'm gonna roll with the chat.
Yeah, that's why I said I ain't gonna argue with y'all.
I'm gonna roll
I ain't
with
gonna
the chat.
argue with y'all.
I'm gonna roll with the chat because you know they be on point. I'm gonna roll with them. Tremont is happy that his friend has been released from jail by the old Terry Silver. By Terry Silver's daddy. By
Terry Silver's daddy.
Yeah, his daddy. His daddy got him out. And so basically Rock uses it as an opportunity to have a conversation with Tremont to tell Tremont that listen, I don't done this favor for you, so what's up with the offer I made you? And he was like, well, you know, in order for me to come work for you, you're gonna have to get rid of Cartier first. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll be in touch. So I think she had already made up her mind that she was gonna drop him anyway. That just was icing on the cake. I think she had already made up her mind that she was gonna drop him. And
This thing really made me want to go buy Wilson's Leather and just see what they got on sale this week.
Not Wilson's Leather.
I really just want to run through Wilson's Leather and just see what they got. You know what I'm saying?
Not Wilson's Leather. Throwback. Wilson's Leather.
Listen, everybody had that Wilson leather jacket. Everybody had that.
I put out one in the closet.
Okay.
That Wilson's Leather. So let me know what they got on sale when you go.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay, I stand corrected. DeMarcus that gave us the episode of reference. All right, I stand corrected, y'all. Listen, I can say when I'm wrong. I'm corrected. I'm wrong. I could have sworn I that's what happened, but okay, no problem.
Tremont tells Abraham that listen, this bitch blood might be colder than Cartier's, and that's saying a lot. So, you know, it's the devil you know and the devil you don't know. So you think you might? I don't think Rock gonna go upside your head like Cartier was, but you know, she ain't gonna be easy to work for.
I mean, you could catch a bullet to the head just on the word.
Yeah.
Just on somebody's word though. Just somebody saying they saw you talking to the police.
Yeah.
You could catch a bullet in the head like Scrappy. Y'all know I still ain't got over Scrappy.
Yeah, that was rough.
I was waiting for y'all to mention something. I said I'm just gonna wait and see if they're gonna say anything about it. Let's get all the way to the end. But
that I wasn't on the show before then, but that bothered me also the way he died. That was bad. He was like, "Oh,
like, we did not.
I made a mistake." I was like, "That was messed up."
Let's breathe.
In
the fish house.
Sorry, King.
Yeah, you cut up, Miss Honey. What'd you say?
Okay, so Sal, when he was talking to his boys, and he told the dude, "You can't just do things that easy. I don't want to have to deal with the man at the fish house or the fish shop just outside of Howard Beach."
Yeah, he did say something about outside Howard Beach too. I was trying to process that and figure out.
There's a man who works in a fish house or a fish shop or something up in just outside of Howard Beach that he don't want to cross. He don't want to jump on Rob too hard lest he go past that dude. He got to find out what's going on.
I think that's the head of the mob. I think like remember when Rock said they ain't real mafia, they just on the sidelines. I think that's I think that's whoever is in control of that part of New York. He was like, I can't do nothing until I get their permission.
Which
Oh,
brings me back to my point. Why would Rock kill Cartier and she don't know who is over him?
Good point.
Rock don't care.
she showed on when she sees something she won't. It's tunnel vision.
We know that we've seen this, that Rock doesn't, like, even with going back to the Scrappy thing. Rock does not think things through. Sometimes when she gets something in her head, that's it.
It's scorched the earth. Yep.
Listen, Cartier had to go anyway. Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty annoying. I didn't shed a tear when that happened. I was actually like, okay, cool.
He had to go.
Yeah, I didn't
Give a
either.
man a
Yeah, I
It was
wasn't
in the
shocked
point
that it
where he
happened.
was shaking down the family.
I
too
did
much.
want to see more from the character, though.
I did too, but when it happened, I was like, am I supposed to be mad? Like, am I supposed to feel something more for this?
Yeah, I just, like I said, for me, I wasn't mad that it happened. I just didn't think it was going to happen this season, but I was okay with it happening. I was like, all right then.
Me too.
I just questioned that last shot that he did, like when he shot the guy again. Like, what did that do? I didn't get what that was like supposed to.
I think that was like
signify.
confirming to Rock that he was back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's already dead though. Like you can shoot him like 10 times. It doesn't really matter at that point.
But you see, Rock took her own advice. Rock took her own advice. She gave him 2 in the chest and one where he used
Went to the head.
Right.
One where he used to think. She followed her
Because they
own
got to
advice.
make look how many people they then got shot in these episodes and survived. Just think about
Yeah.
that for a second.
Yeah, good point.
All those extra bullets are needed.
Yeah.
You know, you
Well,
got
they had to wet him up though. They had to wet him up pretty good in the elevator though.
They so did.
They wet
That
him up
real good.
Yeah. But she made sure she put that one where he used to think. She made
So,
sure
hey, that's what you got to do.
right, because you ain't getting back up from here.
Well, if
buddy.
that's the case, then Freddie, I don't know. Is Freddie okay?
No, Freddie done.
Freddie done. He got wet up too.
Yep.
Freddie done.
Yeah, he done for. Yep.
So
Bert is down here at the station trying to catch Sam as Sam has been released. Sam has been released. And I feel like the captain did that. I feel like that was a trap for Bert.
Yep.
Yep.
I think it was too.
I
Yep.
thought it was a trap for Bert to see how she was going to react. So they let the crackhead go, and of course she hot on his heels, chasing him out the precinct. Or whatever.
I'll walk him out.
And Detective Howard, now that scene was a little unrealistic because at some point she should have turned around to see if she was in private. You know,
Yep.
she's out here having this whole conversation in the front of the precinct. And you don't turn around and check to make sure that you were declared. I felt like that was a little
And
unrealistic.
then went outside the front of the police station and handed this man money.
Headed him up.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Money right in front of the police station.
Dude
When I
said
think
Bert
about
is
that,
an
the
idiot.
havoc
He's an
he is
idiot.
going to wreak with the money that Bert gave him and the money that Marvin gave him,
Man.
they might not have to kill him. He might end up killing his own
Exactly.
dad himself.
Right.
Right out.
He
Right.
about to smoke his kneecaps off.
Ever give a crackhead cash.
And that
Yeah.
money anyway. I feel like Bert might have gave him $60.
They gonna find him OD somewhere.
That's what, and you know what, Marvin? I feel like that's what's going to happen,
They
and I'm gonna
find
be
him
really,
OD somewhere.
and I'm gonna be really upset if we went through all this whole episode just for them to find him in a abandoned building next week, high as fuck. Like
Or
that,
dead.
that will piss me off.
They gonna find
That
him
is,
OD
well, you know what that's
somewhere.
gonna happen. That's gonna piss me off. But no, I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think that Kanan is. This is what I think is gonna happen. I'll wait till we get to that scene. So Burger's out here talking to him. Detective Howard is standing at the top of the stairs, ear hustling, and he right there realized that okay, I thought I had took care of Bert with the whole putting that Nicole's father on her, but I see that ain't working. So now it's Plan B. So we don't know what Plan B is yet. But we know that Howard probably thought that he had took care of the Burt problem, but obviously she's not going away. She's like a cockroach. You got to stop her
Isn't it crazy?
times before she dropped.
Howard and Marvin
Hey, I love our chat, man. They just
are parallel.
to go. Turn the lights out.
Yeah. I'm ready for Burt to go. Burt
I'm
is.
tired of Bert.
I'm so tired of her.
Get her ass up out of here.
I think everyone's tired of her.
Please take her.
I'm so sick of her.
But yeah, I agree with you, CG. I think that I think it was you, CG, that mentioned that the captain baited her.
Yeah, that was bait.
That was bait. Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna see.
Yep. That was
Yeah,
bait.
because right after she left out, he called internal affairs. So We don't see, yeah, but I
And it
think
wasn't long after that they were releasing Sam.
right, exactly. I think
And she did exactly what they probably thought that she was going to do. You know, when you were being investigated and they're watching you, and he told her last week she was being watched. But
Right.
yet and still, she's still out here in plain sight thinking that she moving beyond recluse. She's not. Everybody know what you're doing.
and then now you done got bold. You doing the damn thing. You doing it at the police station.
Right. In front of everybody. Marvin and Juke have this conversation that we've been waiting for them to have. They at the diner, they have a lunch, and they really had a really good conversation. I think this is the best conversation to date that they probably have had with one another. But Juke is wise way beyond her years because what she told Marvin was true. In order before you can do anything for me or anyone else, you got to fix yourself first.
Exactly.
And Marvin tells her, he's struggling with a lot of the bad things that he's done. Interesting plot twist here.
When Marvin said he don't know if he cried because he had shades on.
That was hilarious.
Right.
That whole Aaron Hall, I miss you.
Best Marvin scenes when he's eating.
He's always eating.
He's always eating.
That was his worst. His worst episode was last week. We didn't see him eating. I'm telling you, the best Marvin scenes when he's eating. I don't know if I cried or not. I had shades on.
Marvin make pizza look so good. Like when he's eating pizza, I'm like, it's like the most amazing thing ever.
Yeah, even chips and the pinky finger. Like I love everything about Marvin eating.
That whole Aaron Hall, I miss you moment at the gravesite. I was ready for him to start breaking out singing Aaron Hall.
Aaron Hall.
All the men back then looked like Aaron Hall, and all of them had large
sunglasses.
Yes,
and goatees.
But he did apologize.
Large babes.
I definitely like this scene between them because he most definitely, not only the last episode, he told her that just hearing you call me dad was enough. But then in this episode, and he apologizes to her for everything he's done wrong.
And everything he didn't do right.
And everything I did and everything I didn't do. This was a great scene.
Yeah, it was a great
I
scene.
agree to Marcus. I agree. Jukebox should have apologized as well because the reason why she got her ass whooped because she spit in his face. So that would have been even better.
Except Jukebox is a minor, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's a great scene, but it still confuses me. How does Jukebox make that turn to being so cold, man? Just like everyone goes to her for advice, and she's just so trusting. I just don't that turn. How does she turn into what she turns into when power comes up?
This is what I'm thinking.
Paperboy, I think it's already in. It's been brewing in her since they whooped her hand.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, well, she's never really had anybody. The reason why she's accepting Marvin back, even though what they went through, is because he's interested in what she got going on. He's asking her. He went and defended her with her mom. You get what I'm saying? She hadn't gotten this from Rock, Kanan, everybody. Lou betrayed her. Even though Mark Hart's thing to her, the worm is turning. Like he's coming back and asking, for forgiveness, and he's showing interest, and he's, showing, that he cares and everything. Empathy. Just in this moment, but everybody else is shut her off. That alone is enough to breed a cycle.
This is what I'm thinking that's going to end up happening. I think that we're going to get to a point where Marvin's going to want to be out of the game too. We already see him struggling with, the things that he's done. The whole thing that happened with Jukebox is weighing heavily on him. So it's making him question everything else that he's done. And then losing Renee. What happens if Marvin goes legit, so to speak? And when I say legit, I ain't talking about like, go get a regular 9-to-5 job. But what if he gets out of the game? Him and Jukebox repair their relationship and they get close and she loses him. And maybe that's the catalyst that pushes her.
What if she loses him at Rock's hand? Maybe that's the catalyst, because he was supposed to end Sam.
Exactly.
But once again, you do what you want to do instead of what needs to be done.
So,
facts.
like I said, I think we still have a lot more that we need to learn about Jukebox. Because at this point, the reference to her being cold-hearted and a killer and being ruthless and all this, I see more of that in Kanan right now than I do in her.
Yes, correct.
So
Yeah,
I
you
need
can see it. You can see that storm in Canaan for sure.
yeah, you can see that storm brewing in Kanan. I mean, it's when he went off on Freddie, we saw it.
Yeah,
So we
as
have
soon as his mom completely turns on him, that's when it's going to really be the switch.
right at this point we ain't even seen Jukebox drop her first body yet. So
He told Freddie in the pizza shop, "You ain't gonna do shit."
yeah, you don't want so Cartier thought he was finna get some.
Right. Oh,
He thought he was finna get some.
Two dinners, man. Dinners. He gonna walk up and just straight try to tongue kiss her.
What he trying to do?
He just straight try to tongue kiss her.
Yeah, what was that statement he said? Does that even make sense? I know what I want, and I want what I know. What does that even mean?
Yeah, I seen you, I like you, and I want you.
She was like, hell no, nigga, get up off me.
Well, push back.
She gave that pushback so fast, she was like, ew.
That was back when dudes took a no for an answer, man. When they slowed down a little bit. Now
she hit him with that. She hit him with that Kendrick Lamar. That
He looked like he was ready to eat her.
He was.
He walked up like that was his wife. Like, honey, I'm home. It's like, I don't know.
Like he really did walk up on her like they had already had this like he had the music playing and all that. Like he really walked up on her like
it was about to go down. Yeah.
I'm about to stick
hey,
my
he hit him with
tongue
the.
down.
He hit him with the. You know what this is.
right.
She was like, I'm not ready for that. She was like, listen, I'm not ready for that.
Say, hold on, Negro. Pause.
No, I don't want none of that. If you don't get up on me.
And then she gave him the arm fold.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, I thought this was too funny, yo. And so he basically tells her that, listen, you know what this is. I've been whining and dining you, whatever. Let me get some. And she was like, nah, I'm not interested. And so then he just, the salvage was left of his ego. I want to buy into your business.
Oh, I think you're so right. I think he definitely brought it up to salvage his ego.
Yeah.
That's what that was. He had a hard dick, and he was like, "Listen, I got the salvage situation.
That's a hard transition though. After you get shut down, like what conversation do you have next? They always say, "How about them?" That's tough. You gotta have something pretty shocking to get to make you forget about what you just did. So I get why he did it.
Is it even a rebuttal for that? Like,
nah, there isn't.
I want to buy into your business. Oh, gangsta of Allstate commercial head ass.
A for effort.
She was like, well, you ain't getting that either. Like, you ain't getting this box and you ain't getting in my business.
She said no and hell no.
No and hell no. Right. Now get out of my face. Your breath high. But
should have whipped out the PS5 and just like, you want to play some NBA 2K then?
Shit. She was like, listen, man.
In my experience, his rebuttal would have been, oh, come on now. Don't be that way. Don't be that way.
But she started calling him on his ears. She started calling him on your shit. Like, how you want to buy into my business when you just got finished saying that, oh, New York's not a good market for me. The profit margins is not big enough for me and all this. Now all of a sudden you want to buy into her business. So she looked.
I didn't respect his response either. Like, I was just like, that's like a whole bunch of who shot John. Like, who's on first? Who what's on second? Like, I was like, what? What are you talking about, dude? Now you want to meet my connect?
Yep, and that's exactly what pulls my teeth. She saw him as a lick, and that was it. And she knew that she didn't have to give up the cooch in order to get the information out of him that she needed to, because he'd been loose lips all around her. He'd been bragging all around town about how big of a boss he is or whatever. So
the caviar, man.
Yep,
what happens.
The beluga caviar and vodka and the slapping the workers up in front of her. I mean, you're the one who set the stage.
You set the stage.
You set the stage. She played her part.
You gave her all the ammunition to plan everything all week.
I
on
agree.
your
What
ass.
pulls my teeth? I agree that she probably knew the minute she really saw his moment of weaknesses, like how he went 0 to 100. He's bragged about himself. She probably did say to herself, "I can't wait to kill this dude."
Right.
Oh yeah, you're probably 100% right.
He played himself out because if he would have kept it mysterious, if he would have kept it quiet, if he would have played it like how Mecca played it with Monet, if he would have played it a little bit closer, he might have could have got in on her organization from the inside. But you see, like, fronting on her and putting on a show in front of her and smacking up the workers and stuff. Man, she saw this as, oh, this gonna be an easy lick for me. I ain't
way too aggressive too. Just way too aggressive.
I mean, she never really saw him work, though, did she? Not really.
No, but she got enough intel out of him where she can inherit.
That's what's crazy though. That's what's crazy though. He was such a show off and a cocky ass bastard. He gave her all the info before he even got anything out of her.
Yep. And the only thing that he had at this point was part of the studio. That's it. You know, he didn't even know what her connect was. He didn't know nothing about her organization. I don't even think he even learned about the buildings. You know,
he never had a man with him. He never had a partner. He had never had a sidekick. Never had a security guard. None of that.
Yeah,
that's why I thought he was a narc. I thought he was the ops.
No. And you know what? It's kind of ironic because they dropped him the same way they did Mecca. They dropped him the same way.
Yeah.
They did Mecca.
Brought him in hard and then, did nothing with the character. The character just basically swam around in a circle. It was just nothing. We got nothing. He got nothing from this character.
And they made him
all
seem
this
as
pontification, nothing.
And they made him up to be this big threat that turned out to be no threat at all. To me, he was more of a threat to Lulu than he was to her because she didn't let him get close enough to her business. Lulu let him all up in his shit, but Rock never let him get close enough to hers, just like he didn't get close enough to her cooch just a while ago. He thought he was going to get him some good loving.
Did y'all peep too that Rock don't know that Lou killed Crown?
Yeah. But she side-eyed him too, though. She side-eyed him like, I knew you lying to me. She side-eyed him.
So I'm just wondering if Lou's gonna go back to running this studio, but now it's gonna be Lou's House of Music.
Yeah.
They kill everybody associated with it. Now it's Ziza's turn. Please let it be Ziza's turn.
Yeah, Trayvon do know who Rock Connect is, but Cartier didn't. Cartier didn't know nothing.
Hey, you know what? It's making the way Unique is handling everything is making me respect him more and more.
Yeah, I like I actually like Unique. I'm riding with Unique now.
Yeah, he's more like Bob.
He's just, to me, like he's a drug dealer. He can get over on your ass, but at the same time, he has a moral code, and he has
I have a different point of view on that.
I knew it.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
I definitely can see what y'all are saying. I got that. But oh wow, okay. But here's my question: do I think that he wasn't gonna rat Rock out to Sal because at the end of the day, he know that Sal's a racist, and he know that all of us are just that. At the end of the day, he sees all of us as just niggas.
Yep.
I think had that been another black person, another black drug dealer, another rival that they all in the same like family, I think he would have done it. I think his reason for not doing it to Sal was basically him like he never gave a damn about his relationship with Sal. It was all about getting back in the game and getting Rock at the same time. But he literally had just got finished calling Rock a moolie or whatever it was. He had already just got finished calling her a racial slur right before he was like, now give me her operation.
Yeah,
right. That's my opinion. I don't think it was just, he was so loyal to the code of the streets as it was he saw Sal for what he was, and he was like, look, I got what I wanted out of this relationship. I'm good with it being over.
Yeah, but he's being very clear about the fact that he don't work for. Wasn't that the same shoe he had on with the MC?
With the MCM, yep.
Which one's that?
Which is predominant for that era because that shoe actually released in 1988 and this is 1991. So
that's what it was. DeMarcus, he called Marvin a moolie. So I'm like, you literally, you might as well have said nigga. You literally had just said it, and then you were like, now I need the operation. I'm not saying that was his only reason, but I'm just saying I wonder if that had been, let's say Cartier. Let's say it had been him and Cartier with that relationship. Would he have betrayed Rock to Cartier?
Yeah, both things could be true.
I doubt it.
I don't disagree with y'all saying though.
I doubt it will really be. I do agree with what you saying. I do think that was a piece of it. Like, hold on, man. Like, if you see them as a ninja, you see me as a ninja too, regardless if I helped your son or not.
All right, Plain Paperboy, what's your thoughts?
Pretty much what you guys were saying. I like Unique. I think Unique was doing it because he secretly wants to work with Rock. I think they're going to be more of a partner in the later seasons.
That would be good. That would be good.
I can see them linking up though, because Unique has. I will say this: I do feel like Unique has a different level of respect for Rock than he had last season. I do feel like that.
I also think that somebody mentioned this in the chat. I also think that Unique is going to be the one that drops Sal.
Could be. I can see that.
I don't think it's going to be Rock. I don't think it's going to be Rock or Lou or Marvin. I think it's going to be Unique.
I said that.
The thing about Unique is that he does partnerships, but he doesn't do ownership. I don't think he appreciates Sal trying to come across like he run him. Like, you're not the boss of me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right. And when he said nobody's gonna know, and Unique said, I'll know, I knew then, nah, Sal. This relationship between the two of y'all it has come to an end. Like he said, you got paid for everything you did to help me position Rock the way we got her position. You got paid for that. This is a separate issue. He's nobody's fool. Him and Rock would be a great partnership because he's got what it takes to really, really be a good general. And Rock's got a good business mind on her head. A good head on her shoulder for business. So,
well, pulls my teeth. I didn't like that comment either. Like, you want him to give up this valuable information, but at the same time, you tell him, "Oh, you'll have my gratitude," and that means everything. No,
because that's supposed to mean something. The respect from a wife. Let me just not even go there. It's supposed to
I feel what you're gonna say though, because I was thinking the same thing exactly. You gotta respect yourself. Why does respect from him gonna make you pretty much lower yourself to do that?
They think we dumb. They think we stupid. They think we don't see the value in things, and we're easily bought and paid for. That's why this scene was so good, because Unique wasn't having it.
Xavier.
Say what?
So
yeah, like you're supposed to be impressed with my whiteness. Man, get the.
Yeah, you see how Unique didn't even strike fear in Unique when he told him, he said, my disappointment, when I'm disappointed, I don't take it well. Unique like, I don't care.
Yep. Now Unique is real. I like him. We definitely gained cool points on this episode.
Yeah, he most definitely did. But he said, well, you trying to make me a snitch. Nobody will know. I know I'm a snitch. The hell you talking about?
Who brought up the shoes? Because he's wearing the Jordan 3s, right?
Yeah, he's wearing the black cement 3s, these.
Yeah. That's one issue I have with this show. Does anyone notice that Kanan's wearing the Air Jordan 5 sometimes, and even the Air Jordan 6?
Well, I mean, the time frame is 1991, so that's about right.
95.
But right back in the day, you can't wear all those. Like, once the Air Jordan 4 came out, or the 5, you couldn't go back and just get the 6 or get the 3 again, because that's so old. It's not like they were selling retros. So how were they doing it like that? They were selling them when Michael was wearing it, right?
If you think about when the time frame throughout the show, we're talking 80s to early 90s. That's only like a 3-year time span. So if you figure they, with them being in the drug game, they probably got a multitude of shoes. So being a rotation was everything back then.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. Okay, yeah.
Remember what Money Mitch said: tuck your laces in, otherwise you're gonna look like a poo putt.
I think they kind of even addressed that in that scene where Scrappy was wearing the Great Fives, and Kanan's voiceover was about keeping them clean, or whatever the case may be. So I think they just rotate.
He was wearing the Great Fives in that episode?
Yeah, Scrappy was wearing the Great Fives in one of the episodes in the first season.
Well, how's that even possible?
I mean, that shoe is from the 90s. That's
that colorway is a new colorway though. That colorway is like from 2000.
No.
You mean the white Great Fives, not the black ones? Okay, yeah, okay.
That was 1990.
No, you're right. I keep thinking that you meant the black ones. You meant the white ones.
Yeah, he meant the white ones.
But what I was trying to say, in my point on the whole, what I took away from this scene was that it's the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. So I agree with everything that you guys have said as far as Unique wasn't going to give up Rock's organization to Sal because, like, I'm not going to work with you. You calling her a moolie, I know you're going to call me a moolie or whatever the case may be.
Yep.
But I think we've seen this before. And then what I'm saying is Kanan, all throughout season 1, all the way up to season 5, Kanan was their enemy. But look what happened in the end. When they couldn't kill him, if you can't beat him, join him. I think what ended up happening is Unique is going to end up working with Rock. Like I said last week, I think that Unique is going to drop Sal, or he's going to be a part of helping the family drop Sal, and Rock's going to give him a position in the organization. Now, whether or not Unique is going to want to work for Rock, I don't know, but I think she's going to give him Jersey, because at the end of the day, she's just gotten Cartier out of the way.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I think he's going to end up with Jersey.
So she has room now to expand to D.C., Maryland, Baltimore, Virginia, New York, New Jersey. So she's going to need people in all these places. She can't be in all these places at once. So I think that Unique is going to end up partnering with them and working together with them, at least for now, until he gets to a point where he feels like he can overthrow her. But I think what we're seeing is them going to be working together for a couple of seasons before they fall out again.
I just hope she doesn't go to jail. For some reason, I was feeling that she might be going to jail.
Somebody going to jail. Kanan, Marvin, Rock, so one of them going to jail. Somebody's going to jail.
Or dying. One of the two. Someone's either dying or going to jail.
Not this season. No. Somebody run a war? Somebody run a war?
Right. I was like, what?
Jack of Jordan fried fish, I think.
My bad. That was for the water. I know I was doing the show. I'm back. my mini beans downstairs, so I'm back.
Famous and Kanan are down here at the pizza place, and of course, Kanan got to pay for them something to eat, whatever. I guess, whatever. Famous is broken. He's crying about his trouble still, and makes a reference to Kanan that you always have my back. Whatever. I'm like, at some point, Kanan, you're gonna get tired of this. Like, I'm tired of this thirsty.
Ain't neither one of them bathing. I'm telling you, they walking around smelling like a bunch of dirty belly buttons. Like, I just
Famous does have to go. I'm ready for Famous to go because he's trouble, and he's nothing but a nuisance. And a lot of what Kanan is getting into right now, with him having Famous as a tag along, it ain't gonna do nothing but make his troubles worse.
It just blows his spot up. Every time he's with Famous, it blows his spot up. He cannot lay low with Famous being his friend. Even what Sam said, the dude didn't know Kanan, but he knew Famous.
Exactly.
Yeah, good point.
I think what keep Famous around is loyalty. That's what I think would keep
for the crackhead not to know Kanan, considering Kanan's mama is the one that supplies the crack. And
right, you on a first name basis with Marvin, but you don't know Kanan.
But you don't know Kanan.
Exactly.
You know Famous, but you don't know Kanan. It was just crazy.
Be down there with him on that pipe. That's why.
That's what it is. Famous being the damn crack house. Because listen, Famous isn't going to school, and Famous ain't going to school, and Famous don't have a job. What is he doing all day? Getting high.
Good
But
point,
Marcus, I
Marcus.
agree. I think Lou is going to jail too because
For crown murder.
When they pulled him out that water,
And you know who gonna tell it? You know who gonna tell it?
Caesar.
Yeah. As soon as one of them fine cops pull up on her, she gonna be like, "Oh,
no, I think
just give me the head."
I think something we've been speculating all season. Whatever the relationship is between Ziza and Cartier, I think she's going to suspect that they're the ones that took Cartier out, and we're going to find out what that relationship really.
That's a good point.
Yeah, there has to be something with that.
Yeah, that relationship is deeper than. I mean, again, we've speculated that he was her pimp. We've speculated, but what if they're connected like family wise or something? But I think I don't think it's going to be a.
But didn't he introduce her as his niece?
I think he said his protege. Did he say niece? Maybe he said niece. I don't remember that, but
I think he said protege.
Worse than niece.
Famous need to go.
So Freddie comes into the pizza shop and pick up his to-go order, and Freddie got about 3 boxes of pizza. I guess he was feeding the whole building.
Word.
Now I want pizza.
I guess he was feeding the whole building. Kanan like, yeah, you don't want none. Like,
he knew what time it was.
He's scared of Kanan.
He knew what time it is.
And so and that's when Famous has this epiphany moment that, Freddie stay paid and I'm broke as hell, So I think what's going to happen is they're posturing it where Famous is going to become a stick-up kid is what's going to end up happening. He's going to go around robbing.
No, Famous getting ready to go to jail.
Yeah, he
he'll go to jail too.
Because the neighbor dude called him by name.
Yeah.
Freddie was like, Famous, you don't want to do this. He said his name about 3 times.
So
he said, I know that's your voice, Fame.
And that's right. That's right.
And that's what Burke is gonna get too. That's how Burke is gonna get to Famous, and then Famous is gonna be a target from that. That's what I think is gonna happen. I don't want
Famous to go to jail. Streets need a body part to kill Famous ass.
But I mean, listen, if that wasn't the most crackhead shit,
kill him.
Decide that you want to be a stick-up kid. So you stick up kid. You're not gonna go practice first on some other people. You go run up on a dude that knows who you are. Like that's what you thought was a good idea.
The problem with that is, he's on it the same way that you try to be on it. So why would you go stick somebody up that's on it the same? More than likely he got the blicky on him. He ran up on you with it. So that's my biggest problem with it. Even the fact that you knew him or anything like that.
It's the fact
that he's just robbed the bodega. Everybody robbed the bodega. Just go rob
on it the way you on it. That just didn't make any sense to me.
It ain't about having the blick. He couldn't get it. He couldn't get it out in time. He stood there and had a whole conversation with him when he should have shot his ass.
But what I'm saying is, by him knowing that he has it, and this is your first go around, this is your first rodeo, you shouldn't run up on nobody like that.
Yeah, pick up some old lady.
Call him Latin.
Something easy.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to your apartment and rob you. I'm gonna go to your apartment and rob you. The same apartment we mollywopped you in. I'm gonna go back to that apartment. It just was so stupid on the face.
Hey, you know what else he probably thought?
Get rent.
You know what else he probably thought too? He probably thought, since he was afraid of Kanan, that his name was gonna hold some type of weight too, because he rode with Kanan. He wasn't afraid of you. He had nothing to do with it.
Well, I mean, he had a mask on. He wasn't expecting.
Yeah. He didn't want anyone to know who he wanted or knew he was.
He knew the voice. He already knew the voice. We heard your song, Famous.
Famous said, who wants to smoke?
We heard your one hit, Famous. We know it's you.
Crazy. It was just crazy. I didn't understand that, but I do think that it's gonna bring, because she said she repeated his name after.
I heard that.
Sam said it.
Yeah.
She said Famous, and so now Freddie said Famous. The witness heard Famous. When the witness gets to talking about what happened to Freddie, he's gonna say Famous, and Burke's gonna be like, Famous, I better go get this kid.
Famous could possibly fold on Kanan.
Oh, he's gonna fold.
Oh, he will. Oh, he definitely will snitch. Yep.
Yeah, he's probably gonna fold on Kanan.
I don't think that he will.
Gonna have to get him out of there.
No. I don't think that he will. I don't think that he will, because we see he didn't snitch the first time he got arrested. And he was
and I think that's why he will. I think that's why he will snitch, because what's the name? Kanan left him in prison. He's probably gonna be pissed about it.
think
He
it was a
snitched
murder
in a
either.
song. He's entitled. Retro. Come on.
I don't
And it's
think
But this is
different
what I
because
think is going to happen.
it's different because now we're
I'm in the
talking
middle of
murder.
this road. I don't think he's going to snitch on Kanan.
Nope.
But in his mind, between him just being an idiot and him being a crackhead, in his mind, I could see him telling stuff that he thinks won't come back to Kanan, but about the organization. I could see him saying enough that he thinks is going to get him out of jail. Like,
Yeah, that could be it.
I know that they be selling out of the towers.
The market facts.
Yeah, like I can see him feeling like he's not snitching on Kanan, but still telling shit he don't need to be saying.
I don't think he's gonna do that because he knows how Kanan's family rolls, and he's a friend of the family. He don't been around the family. He know that he'll get dropped. I mean,
yeah, but Kanan, Famous is a
Famous is stupid, but I don't think he's stupid enough to snitch on the family. I don't.
Famous ain't gonna be a batters up. He gonna be a grand slam.
No, I think
Get out of here, boy.
Fall down on his own sword. He's gonna have to fall down on his own sword.
And Marcus Howard did say he was a clown, no doubt, because he is.
I think that Famous is gonna fall down on his own sword, and I think that's what's gonna have Kanan have a lot of respect for him to name his son after Famous. So I don't think that Famous is going to end up snitching on the family or anything about the family organization. I think Famous get knocked, he gonna do his time. I think that's
a good point. That is a good point. If Famous had snitched on him, then yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and if they would have snitched on him, I mean, Kanan would have dropped him.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. I think that's too predictable. I mean, not to say that they don't do things that are predictable, but I just think that that's an easy way to write his character away.
That's how Xavier. That's how they wrote it. We already know Famous a crackhead. We ain't seen him smoke nothing. But
even when he was down at the when he came down to the studio to talk to Lulu. Was it Famous? I mean, was it Cartier? Somebody said something about the way he looked. Like he's looking, he's looking like he ain't right. You know what I mean?
But then, I mean, it started back then. His mama said she stole money out the purse.
Right, yeah. And you ain't addicted to weed like that. Like you ain't
You ain't stealing no money on no purse for weed. Hell no.
Yeah, but the idea of him snitching because he went down to Palomar's house, he got the gun, he went and decided. I mean, Kanan wasn't involved in this, so I mean, you snitching on someone on a scheme that it's just like the whole situation with Marvin. You botched the job, so the idea of you snitching on someone else because you botched the work and Kanan ain't done nothing but help you. He's the reason why you have a place over your head right now, and the idea that you're gonna reward him by turning around and snitching on him. I just don't see them doing that with the character. They built their friendship up too much for this character.
Dude, he did the same thing to his own sister.
Yeah, but he didn't do that willingly. He didn't do that willingly. He snitched on her because he thought that Lou had already knew. He thought that Lou, that's why Lou was ghosting him with the whole studio thing. He didn't go in there and say, "Hey, Lou, I knew that Crown was smashing Jessica." He just kind of blurted it out. Thinking that
I think he could do the same thing here. I just think that Famous is just not that smart.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what really being led with. He's stupid.
I think that's what we want to see with the character because of how he's being written. We're calling him a crackhead, but at the end of the day, all we've seen him smoke is weed. So, I mean, we have issues with drugs. Yeah, okay, whatever the case may be. But I think we're looking so hard for him to be a crackhead that we're thinking that he's going to snitch, he's going to do all this. But Famous is obviously important to the story because they're keeping him around. So I think that's just an easy way to eliminate his character. And then Kanan is really out here with no soldiers. And he's really out here. I think that him and Kanan are going to work together for a while because at the end of the day, Kanan knows that he has loyalty in Famous. So I think Kanan is going to puppeteer Famous. That's his duty.
I think Kanan going to work with him till he get high on his own supply. Then he going to kill his ass.
Yeah, that might happen.
I don't think we ever going to see Famous actually smoke crack. I don't think he moves like a crackhead. He definitely moves like a crackhead, but I don't think he's actually going to that'd just be. I wouldn't like it if we actually saw it. He is annoying as hell, but I wouldn't like that if we actually saw it.
Yeah, I think we're grasping at straws with that respect. To me, I'll be very disappointed if the writing goes that direction. I don't see the writing going that direction with that character. I think that what's ultimately going to end up happening is Famous is going to become a victim of these streets. And I don't think that he's dumb enough to snitch on this family because he know how this family roll and he know that they'll drop him. So he ain't gonna be safe if he do snitch.
I think Freddy's death
That's
by
gonna be
his
what
hand.
pick him out. He
I
dropped
think
him.
I think Freddy's death by his hand is gonna actually encourage him to write.
Or it's gonna turn him into what we've said he wasn't all along. He gonna want to get out here in these streets now. He gonna be
Yep.
smelling himself. He gonna be feeling himself. I got a body on me now. Now he gonna want to take it to the streets. But because I want to talk a little bit more about that when we get to that scene. Um, but Bert is laying up in the bed with Anita, and I'm so tired of this scene. I'm so tired of this conversation. The girlfriend has this conversation with him every week. She has this conversation with Bert every week. Leave this shit alone. And yet and still, she's still pressed. She's still out here trying to make sense of this. Y'all supposed to be in here getting it on or whatever case. So you sitting here talking about Howard. She was like, you ain't got nothing else to talk about besides Howard. Like, can you leave this alone? Oh my goodness. What do y'all feel like is going to end up happening? Somebody said earlier that they felt like Bert is going to get killed and the girlfriend is going to take up the investigation. I don't see that per se happening, but how do you think the girlfriend is going to react to Bert getting fired or killed? Because she's been warning her about this.
I think everybody. I think. I think with the girlfriend, we just need to, just chill a little bit. I don't think that anything is really going to take place with the girlfriend. We see her a couple of times. I think once Burke is done, the girlfriend scene is done. I think her character just becomes pretty much useless. But I do think, I don't necessarily think that Burke is actually going to get killed. I don't actually necessarily think that. I mean, you already seen how the botch hit went against the first cop. You want to try to put another hit on another one. I mean, would the police department actually care? I'm quite sure they're gonna have to do something because they're like, okay, now somebody did hit one of our own again. It's making us look weak. I definitely think she's gonna lose her job, but I think the girlfriend goes away when she loses her job because then she just finds out that she's nothing but trouble. Burke is not going to stop once she loses her job. She's not going to stop. Maybe she eventually get killed and we get some type of Knox type thing or whatever. But first, she got to lose her job.
I think what's going to end up happening is Burke's girlfriend going to get dropped. I think somebody going to come by and spray up her house, and the girlfriend going to end up getting killed, and that's just going to make Burke even more determined to solve this case or whatever the case may be. Either way, one of the two. If it's too soon for Burke to go, which I agree, because I mean, look how many seasons we had to deal with Blocker. Look how many seasons we had to deal with Sachs. Look how many seasons we had to deal with Greg Knox. They don't never really get rid of the ops that soon. So the ops usually stick around for a while. So
hell, Sachs still around, and we hate his guts.
So is Blanca. Oh, so is Blanca.
So did Angela. Look how many seasons we had Angela. So I mean, it's going to be a while before we probably lose Burke. But what's going to end up happening is she probably will get fired, and either that girlfriend gonna get wet up, and she'll. What I predict is either the girlfriend will get wet up and she will get fired. That's what I'm predicting. All right, so Rock is having a meeting of the minds with her crew. She pretty much confronted. We saw her on the phone, so I didn't get that screenshot, but she was on the phone. And Marvin and Lulu were having a conversation where Marvin told Lulu, "Yo, I appreciate you dropping Jimmy for me." He's like, "I'll drop anyone who take a shot at my brother," which I had said that it would be good if they made Lulu go kill him because Marvin saved him when his house was on fire. So I was expecting that to happen. I was kind of expecting that to happen. Rock was on the phone. Who she was on the phone with? I'm assuming Detective Howard, and Detective Howard was telling her about Sam. Because as soon as she got off the phone, she was like, "All right, we got some business we need to take care of. Lulu, I need you in here full time. I don't need no part-time help." She was telling them about how she had folks coming in from Syracuse and upstate, to help them with the Italians. But we also saw that when Rock told Marvin who she needed him to take care of. You saw him processing it like, man, I don't want to do this. So now you're in a situation right where both of the brothers, neither one of them want to drop bodies anymore. You need some more help.
Hey,
I think Lulu back. I think Lulu is back. Like in
I
the
told
last
y'all
three
last episode he was back.
Well, like last 3 episodes, we just seen him drop 3 bodies. So I think Lulu is back. I think the way that he was moving at first was because he just didn't want to be involved with it. I never thought he was a sucker or Xavier say bitch boy, whatever Xavier called him. I just think he just wanted out. Yeah, I just think he just wanted out. So I think he's back, and I think Marvin is kind of like in limbo of being his good guy and his bad guy. He had tried to do the right thing, as we see. He's going to try to do the right thing, But I think that if he has to absolutely do the bad thing, he's going to.
I think it's too soon for us to be introduced to Blanca. I think it's too soon for her to be. I don't think that she would be in this version of Power because
we're talking about 20 years later. I don't think.
At least 20 years later, but we already met who was going to be investigating her. That guy that was over at Nicole's house. House.
Yeah.
That's the IA that's investigating her. Okay. But yeah, Marvin didn't seem like he was too comfortable with that order that he was giving. Famous goes up to Palomar's house in the middle of the night, and Corinne answers the door on the first knock. And he asked for Palomar's gun. And she's like, well, what you need it for? And he was like, I need it for protection or whatever. And she said, this is why I feel like Famous is going to go down on his own sword. She said, if you get caught up in some bullshit with this gun, I'm going to say you stole it. This gun got bodies on it. This is the same weapon that was used to assault Freddie with the first time when Kanan used it, when he pistol whipped him with it. So the man's DNA is probably going to be on the gun.
Yep.
Six is going to be on the gun.
Famous, and you know what else is crazy?
Gun. Famous is going to fall on his own sword behind this because he was the one who botched up the work.
Kanan never discharged that gun. He's the only one that's discharged that gun.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, putting this stuff together after you said it, Retro, is, for one, that's the same gun. That's the same apartment. The same person you assaulted. The same person who saw the first assault, who probably called the police and got you jacked up the first time. You go back there? That's even stupid. That's dumb.
Crackhead shit.
You an idiot.
We're calling it crackhead shit, but what it is desperation. He's destitute right now. So
he's a high school kid.
He's destitute because he's a crackhead.
I don't think he's a crackhead.
He got kicked out of his house. He can't hold a job. All of these things are because he is a crackhead.
Well, even if he was because he was lying, stealing, and he was banging chicks at his mom's crib.
But he was doing all of that because his ass was strung out.
No, he got put out of his mama's house for fucking. That's what he got put out.
Right. That's what he got.
Yeah.
He stole out her purse. Remember?
For both things. For both things.
Yeah. Well, that was the camel. That was the straw that broke the camel back when she came home and saw the girl.
That was the final straw, and that's why she called. And remember that the reason why he can't stay with no family because she called all the family and was like, "Yo, he's stealing out he stole out my purse."
Maybe we do the next heretic analysis on Famous, because here's my theory with Famous. My theory with Famous is that we looking at a 16-year-old kid who had a small glimpse of fame. Like, he went from having the biggest time of his life with that hit song being on the radio and all this type of stuff, to random chicks pulling him in the bathroom, and giving him some sloppy toppy in the bathroom because he thought that he'd have made it, to nothing. To absolutely nothing. You went from, it's like getting cut from the varsity team. You went from at least in his head, from the top of the world to nothing. So most of the time he probably was depressed trying to come up with another hit. He moved like a drug addict
over summer break though.
It don't matter.
This happened over summer break.
It wasn't right. He had a local hit. Like, he was not selling out arenas. Like he had a local hit on the radio.
This is a 16-year-old. We can go
No,
like
I
in
get
real
that.
life. We can go
I
and
get
look
that.
at who knows how many of these kid celebrities or local kid celebrities thought they was about to get ready to blow, and then it just fell off. And what happens? They end up arrested, end up some type of mental institute,
They
and
end up a
or end up on
crackhead.
drugs. What is that?
I definitely think we don't need to do a famous
It ain't that much
character
to break
breakdown.
down.
I mean, we just gonna come circle back to the same spot. He's an idiot,
Yeah.
strung out, and he's gonna probably end up dead or in jail.
Basically.
Jukebox is over at Nicole's father's house, and they pressing her to try to get her to drop a dime
Another
on
dumb
Bert.
scene. Sorry.
And I don't even understand how Detective Howard is painting this narrative that, and Jukebox knows the truth, so she knows whatever they're trying to get her to say isn't the truth. So she's like, listen, I don't talk to cops, and I damn sure ain't gonna talk to cops about cops. So I'm up out of here. So that's it for her and Nicole's father. She ain't going back over there
Right.
anymore.
And yet another adult that has disappointed her.
Yep, yet another
Yep.
adult disappointed her.
Yep.
I thought you called me here to talk about Nicole.
I have a question though, and this is I know that does Jukebox have a cell phone? How is she getting all these calls? Her mama called her to leave school to come. The Nicole daddy what number are they calling?
Maybe she got,
I thought she got a beeper.
yeah, maybe she have a beeper.
I guess. I mean, damn.
I said the same thing though. How do they get in touch with her? Are they calling over to Rock's house?
Right. I know they're not talking to Rock. Like I know Nicole daddy ain't leave a message with Rock. You know what I mean?
Good point. I haven't even thought about that.
God dang.
I don't think the writers thought about that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, maybe she got a beeper. Beat me 911. I guess.
I didn't know how Bingham called you right up. Said, "Come over here. I want to talk to you."
Yeah, maybe he even sent a cab for her.
This was a dumb scene. Like I did not get it.
The writers didn't think about it. That's why the writers are writing, and this time completely forgot about that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how they get in touch with her. This irritates me because I felt like the easiest way to get rid of Sam was exactly what Marvin did to get him in the car. Marvin gave him some drugs to get in the car. He should have just laced the drugs. Fentanyl would have worked. We know that fentanyl works.
All you gotta do is let Kanan mix the drugs.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. I said the same way.
Let Kanan mix the drugs.
Let Kanan mix the drugs, and then we get rid of.
That's all they had to do was let Kanan cook.
That's
right.
Like Kanan cook, he wanted strong. He would have been out of here.
He would have been out of here. You had to give him no money. You ain't had to put him on no bus. Listen, just gave him some lace drugs and let him go ahead and take his own self out.
Right.
But what does
all
Marvin
you had to do is dip a plastic straw into some fentanyl and just give it to him.
That's it. Just give him a little fentanyl. And that's it. That's it. So we're not gonna talk no more about.
We already talked about that.
We don't talk about that to death. So I'm not. Yeah, Freddie.
He laid Freddie ass out during that hallway. Freddie ain't think he had it in him.
That's what it was. Freddie underestimated his desperation.
Yep. And sometimes desperate people are the most dangerous people.
Yep. That's a fact.
Jukebox and Kanan, I feel like they're at the bowling alley too. I just felt like
they're at the mall.
We had the set built already.
Arcades
We had the set built already. Let's just go ahead and use it again for another scene. So I feel like Jukebox and Kanan are at the bowling alley and they're having a conversation. And it was really a conversation that we had been expecting them to have because, she pretty much like putting Kanan on notice. Like, look, you mad at your mom about the whole situation, but didn't you do the same thing with Palomar? Like, you were 16, you slept with a grown woman. So, like,
hey, I said Detective Howard is Palomar, and Palomar is Detective Howard.
What are you mad about? So, they have a conversation, and Kanan's like, you don't understand, and all this and all that. But I feel like, whereas before we used to think that Jukebox it almost kind of feels like Jukebox kind of defends Rock. She always seems to have a different spin on Rock's actions versus Kanan. Because even last week when he was telling her that he was leaving, she was like, "Your mom love you," you know. And so, maybe Jukebox doesn't view Rock the same way that Kanan does. Obviously not, because she's still staying with her.
It's kind of hard to because at least you see, like, because Rock, I mean not Rock, Juke probably wants what, or at least a part of what Kanan got. Jill had none of that with
A
any of her
parent that
parents or
loves
any of her
yeah.
or
Mhm.
anybody or any adult that's in her, that's in her life. So for any reason that she could try to mend their relationship, she's definitely going to try. Even though in his head, from the inside, from the inside, from his perspective, from his shoes, Rock ain't shit right now.
Yeah. And I agree with what pulls my teeth. I said the same thing in my review. Even though Marvin trying to turn over a new leaf, like, you still know you can't trust a crackhead. There's no reason in the world why Marvin didn't follow that bus, at least till it got to the city limits or something.
Mhm.
Like, you come on, Marvin. Like, I understand for turning a new leaf, but you just know you can't trust a crackhead. But anyway.
You should put his
And
ass
maybe
on an
if
air
there was
fryer.
more conversation about what was going on with Sam and Bert.
Yeah, Juke
Where
loves
she
him.
was just like, I need you to put Sam down. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he was like, I'm trying to turn over and leave. Let me just get him out of the city for a little while until my sister get over the woo woo woo. At the same time, he's wanted by the Italians. You know what I'm saying? And this is the life that you have chosen. Like, it was crazy. But think about Scrap. He didn't really feel like Scrap should have been killed. I'm sure he
Yep.
probably feels a little remorse about that.
Yep. But
So
part of it goes back to the same problem that Rock has with Kanan. She only tells a portion of what she needs to tell. If she would have been more honest with Marvin and Lulu as to why she wanted, I feel like they would have processed it better. But she only gives them a portion of it. She gives them a piece of what they need to know. She's not full disclosure with anyone, and so that's why
yeah.
their schemes blow up, because listen, you got someone out here doing this kind of work for you. You need to give them all the facts.
I also feel like she's a little vague with Marvin a lot. Like, I need you to get rid of this body. No, he has to have specific instructions. Get
Exactly.
this
Yeah.
body out of the building. Take it far away from here. Okay. Get rid of Sam. Sam's going to bring this organization down. When I say get rid of him, okay,
But
you
that's
don't need him to be breathing anymore, Marvin.
but that's the idiosyncrasy that is her downfall. Is because she's vague all the time with everyone, with Kanan, with Marvin, with Lulu. She's vague all the time. She's giving direction. Even with Kanan, when she had Kanan go out here and drop Howard or try to drop Howard, she was vague with him as the reasons why. If you gave these people just a little bit more information, then they would probably act in your better interest. But
Right.
you send them out here with half-ass information, they do a half-ass job.
I do think though that's a part of her manipulation, the
Yes,
personality of
Yep.
manipulation. Because
yes.
even when y'all talk about her relationship with Juke, the way she come at Juke is like, I understand what you're going through, and this is what it is. Woo, woo, woo. That whole spiel she gave her, that was just to say, I know you know about what's going on. You don't understand that these short-term decisions I made is for the long run. She said, you understand what I mean? Juke say, yeah, I think so. And she says, good, because I don't understand what I'm saying my own self. It's this manipulation. It's like a disclaimer on everything that she does. So I mean, that's a great point.
Very good.
It's the anatomy of a manipulator. Is I'm vague. I didn't say that. I mean, I did say this, but I could have meant that. Like, she is
Right.
vague.
What pulls my teeth? That's a good point. Rock struggles with trusting men in her life, and I think there's a bigger reason to that. I think there's a bigger story that needs to be told with that, because you're right. She's not full disclosure with any of the men that's in her life. She's very vague. Like, she doesn't trust anyone.
Probably got something to do
Her
with her
own
dad.
son. Burke out here on the block, and I wish that she would have got wet up out here. I wish one of them crackheads would have jumped her, or beat her ass.
Mhm.
Hey, you see that? You see that one crackhead got real disrespectful with her.
Bitch. Yeah.
Like, find him.
That
Like,
was
go find him.
endearment right there. That was straight up like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, you know what would be an interesting plot twist if Burt catch a case?
Oh,
We're looking for her to get wet up, but what if they get rid of her by giving her some charges, put some charges on her ass?
Wow.
But I'm gonna tell you what ultimately I think is going to happen. I've said this in earlier reviews. I think what's going to happen is Detective Howard is going to pull a Rock on Kanan, and is going to use Kanan to drop Bert. And I think that's going to piss Kanan off that damn both of my parents ain't shit. Like, my father trying to get me to kill his partner, my mom trying to get me to kill my dad. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Because
I
right
think
now,
it's probably more likely that Famous go down for shooting Howard, and he lets it happen. Howard lets it happen.
That's true too. That's true too.
Because they
But
got the famous Kanan switch around from the crackhead.
yep,
Plus, Famous done discharged his weapon and killed Freddie. Like it really is looking like Famous shot Howard.
yep. But we know that Bert confronts Kanan next week and say, "I know that you shot Howard." So I think what's going to happen is Kanan's going to take that back to Howard, just like he took it back to Rock. That this white lady ran up on me or whatever the case may be, and Detective Howard is going to put two and two together that okay, she's way too close now, and he's probably going to solicit Kanan in that moment. I need you to drop her, and that's going to end up fucking Kanan up in the head even more now because now my father doing the same shit that my mom did. So
Right.
you're gonna be mad at both of your parents for the same reason because both of them are manipulators. Right now, we see that Howard is trying to do everything he can to get rid of Bert without killing her. He know that he can't put the bullet in her himself because that'll make him completely a dirty cop. So he's going to solicit help, and it's going to be Kanan.
But wouldn't that put Kanan right back in the same position?
Exactly.
I hope that ain't the case. I mean, it definitely can happen, but I hope not.
Marvin trying to put Sam on a bus to Atlanta. He should have took him down to the Amtrak and put him on a train. Gave him some fentanyl. Marvin gave him some stacks.
Yeah, he should have put his ass on the Amtrak.
Yeah, he could have got off the Amtrak. He would have been able
to Exactly.
I'm mad at Marvin for giving him that much money, but
it was so much money.
Yeah, Marvin was trying to do the right thing. And for a moment, I thought that Sam was going to get his life back and come back later on and be like a friend to the family kind of thing. But they're kind of treating him like 50 did Laces in Power, where, you thought that 50 was going to kill Laces, but, he ended up letting him go.
Man, that Laces episode, that was a whole nother animal. It's apples and oranges. That was, I think, one of their more popular episodes was the Kendrick Lamar episode. It was just so much emotional texture in that episode. What they got going on with Sam, respectfully, is so crackish.
Well, don't send him down here to us. We don't want him in Atlanta. So y'all keep him up here in New York. That's why he got off that bus. We don't want him here in Atlanta.
Atlanta, 497. Y'all remember the play 497?
He was so on his way to ATL.
Well, I'm glad he got off that bus. Don't come here. Which I fully thought that Marvin was when he got off that bus and they shot the scene, the way they shot the scene, I just knew that Marvin was going to come up and drop him.
Yep. That's what I said. I was like, watch Marvin.
That would have been good. That's what I kept waiting. When he got off that bus, I said, Marvin's right there. Yep. Marvin is right there. I knew it. I just knew it. And then I was wrong.
That would have been good.
It would have been. I thought it was going to happen also.
Damn, I thought Marvin was going to roll up and be like, you disappointed me. Because remember, the last thing he said was, don't disappoint me.
Yep.
He was like, I'm not. And I just knew that was going to be his line and be like, you disappointed me. And then boom, boom. Like, I really thought that's what it was going to be. But
they lost a good opportunity with that because that's exactly what should have happened. That's exactly what should have happened. Marvin should have been right off when he was crossing that street. Bam. Dropped him.
But, yeah, that would have been a much better ending, I think, to this episode 9. He had a look of determination though when he crossed. I don't know if it was just that he was headed to the crack house. Hopefully, he knows he can't go to the Basie, but just the way he was looking, like he was out for revenge or something. It was weird. I was like, why are you giving Sam so much here?
And especially in the chat, what do y'all think they're going to do with this character? Like, he's a crackhead. His testimony is not going to mean
right. It's not. And the fact that he lied in the beginning and said he didn't see nothing. Now all of a sudden, when you get arrested, you remember everything. Like you said, listen, a pre-law student could pick that apart.
Yes. What are they doing with this character? What is the why? Why?
I think it's just to show that just to show Rock that Marvin didn't do the job and he's not trustworthy.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good
just
point.
that's basically the only reason, just so they could turn on Marvin, Rock, and Lou. Say he's not really ready for it because he didn't do the job. He's just a fuck up. He just keeps messing up.
He
Right,
didn't
he's
get the
still a
work
fuck up.
done.
Maybe,
He
yeah.
he didn't get the work done.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, Rock might drop him,
Yep.
That would
And
be pretty traumatic.
so we know.
and Jukebox might see it. I can see that happening
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
because
the
since
thing.
Jukebox is getting close to Marvin, I can see her getting really emotional because of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, this is the thing. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. They just don't follow the brilliance. Though we've rewritten season 9, the end of season 9, like 6 times between all of us. All great ideas, all plausible, which speaks to the writing of this show. But they just never follow the great idea. I don't know why. We're
DeMarcus, thanks for the
geniuses.
super chat.
We're more passionate about it. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? As long as power has been going on, I think that would be a great thing that they did with this particular series. And at one point, they were doing this. They were doing this back in maybe season 3 or 4 of Power because it was such a big hit. They were bringing fans in. They were bringing fans in and introducing them to the set and introducing them to the writers' room. If they brought a fan into the writers' room and just picked ideas from them and implemented it into the show, I mean, this would be great. It would be great fan service. It would be great because we have some interesting plot points that we would like to see versus what the writing is giving us. And because we see that they're recycling a lot of the DNA from the other show, it's just like this is Jason Mitchell scene all over.
Yeah.
Because Ghost had don't paid the guard off to let the guard know when he was coming up in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Same thing we
I
saw
forgot about that part.
the doorman called up and let Rockman know that he was on his way up. I mean, it was wash and repeat.
Yep.
But I did enjoy
Except
the fact,
Ghost strangled him, didn't he? Did he shoot him
yeah,
or strangle
Yeah,
him?
no, he strangled him.
yeah, he strangled
It
him.
was piano wire.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
strangling is not easy, you guys.
But remember, he
That's
was
hard
going to
work.
shoot him. He was going to shoot him, but Tommy didn't hide the gun in the box in the elevator.
Yep.
So he had to improvise. He strangled him with the shoelaces. DeMarcus
But it
Cousins.
made a much better scene. I liked it much better than the
I did too.
Cartier scene because the Cartier scene was still more of that corny conversation.
Yep.
Like I wanted to hear something from Rock. Like that would have been cool. A struggle would have been cool, right? Like him
Yep.
I
that would
mean,
have been cool. Like it was
with,
is
with
I don't know, kind of boring.
but Rock is a Black Widow. She don't, Black Widows don't respond; they just react. So when she got
Very
in her
true.
bag to go do something, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
DeMarcus, going back to your comment, yes, I think Marvin had a little bit of a soft spot for Sam because he came in and he was his top customer. That was their top customer over at Baisley's or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So once Marvin is invested in someone, he kind of develops a soft spot for them because we saw that he had that for Renee, which I'm frustrated with that because they should have given us Marvin processing that a little bit more. Because she made an impact on his life. And so this crackhead obviously made enough of an impression on Marvin when Marvin felt like, I can't drop this man. I'm just going to let him go. And Marvin was a user himself. So, maybe he saw potential, hope that, I can save this man's life instead of having to take his life. So that's a good point, DeMarcus. So in this scene right here, I'm glad to see Lulu was a part of it. That just gave him and Rock a opportunity to kind of, I'm not gonna say bond, but kind of like rekindle or fix what's going on because they have been seeing eye to eye for a while. But Cartier instantly inserted dissension between them because like shit, y'all don't even trust each other. So you saw Rock process that, but she was quick witted and like, well, we family. But that comment is going to be in the back of her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, well, how does Cartier know that me and you not getting along right now? So what you been saying about me? And Lou's probably going to be feeling the same way. Well, what you been saying to him about me? So, that's creating a little bit of a rift between the two of them just by him making that comment. And they dropped it. They dropped it. They laid Cartier out. Cartier is up out of here. No more beluga caviar for you, sir. No more Picasso. No more Basquiat. None of that.
None of them tight, no more tight neck shirts.
You're gone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Uh, I feel sorry for who had to get his big ass about that goddamn elevator. But you're up out of here, buddy. Deuces. uh, so guys, we pretty much predicted a lot of things. I think the only thing that we did not predict was the whole Cartier. That was a little twist for us. Overall, not a bad episode.
Yeah, and even the I'm gonna say even the famous was a little loop. The famous killing Freddie.
Yeah,
that was a little loop. That little something there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. I thought for sure he's gonna get mollywopped. So yeah, I guess it was unexpected. Yeah,
I thought we were just going to continue to see a decline of fame. I mean, because I keep calling him a crackhead, but we have yet to see him smoke anything. But I just in my heart of hearts, I just feel like that's where we're going, and I thought that's what we're going to just continue to see that slow. Because going back to what Retro said, that would make sense. Why, like if Famous just fell off, and Kanan couldn't save him and couldn't bring him back. I can see why, okay, I'm named my son after him. Like, he was my friend. I kind of just, he lost his way. He fell off. So that's why I just thought that's what was going to happen with Famous, honestly.
But what do y'all think is going to happen with this whole Palomar gun situation? Do y'all think that...
I think he's going to get bumped off with it.
I think Famous is going to jail. Like, because again...
Yeah, I think they're going to blame him for shooting Howard.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to go down for Howard shooting.
He's going to let it happen. He's going to feel awful about that.
You said Kanan's gonna let it happen?
Yeah, because he can't disagree.
I think his dad's gonna tell him it could happen.
We saw what happened the last time when he got arrested. He went to everyone in the family to try to get Famous out. Nobody would help him. So you're right. He's really gonna be in a position where he can't do nothing for his friend, but let him take the charge.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Trade places with him?
And maybe this is what Kanan feels indebted to Famous for. Because this man took a charge for me and did a bid for me.
Yeah. Famous not gonna let that stand. He's gonna end up dying. Either directly by Kanan's hand, in my opinion, or they're gonna have to shut him up. Period. They send him up the river for this. They're gonna have to find a way to shut Fame up. It's no way to stop that loose lips.
DeMarcus, can you explain that comment just a little bit more? Rock can easily be manipulated, even though she's a master manipulator. Who's manipulating her? Because I feel like Cartier was trying to manipulate her, but I think he fell short at the goal.
Yeah, she seems pretty solid.
Yeah.
Tremont.
Well, Unique has kind of manipulated her a little bit because he did get the drop on her with the whole Jersey thing.
True.
Yeah.
That was kind of to be expected though, because he kind of forced her hand.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of forced his hand. He used the Italians to make that happen. I don't think he could have pulled that off otherwise without the Italians helping him to pull that off.
It's a tough one.
Oh, what Pulls My Teeth says Howard is manipulating her. Do we feel like Howard is manipulating her?
Could be. He manipulated her once. That would make sense.
I don't know if the word manipulate is the word I would use. I see why you would say that, but I don't know if that's the word I would use, because I think that going back to what we said earlier in this review, they still have some sort of a connection, whatever weird it is, because he really thought he was taking Rock real information about Scrappy. It wasn't like he lied to her. He, based on the information, he thought he was giving her a heads up. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time he tells her something, he's not giving her bad information. Now, what she chooses to do with it, that's another comment. Like, I'm sure he knew that Rock was going to kill Scrap. But he honestly thought that Scrap was snitching on her. Like, he really thought he was helping her. And even last year, he gave her the heads up on Unique.
Yep.
He really, I don't think, I mean, I guess you could say it's manipulation, but it's not with any evil intent. I think he really is thinking he's helping her.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, ladies, Lipstick and laces.
Lipstick tonight is Juvia's Place. Is this from their? Is it from their Earth Tone? I think it's from their Earth Tone collection. It's Juvia's Place, and it is called Sheba.
Looks gorgeous.
It's called what?
Thank you. It's called Sheba.
Okay, Sheba.
Like Queen of.
All right,
Okay,
Miss
so
Honey,
I'm taking this collagen, spoiled child collagen, and I know, long way around. And so this was my free gift, and it is a neutral pink. I'm giving you, fresh face girl next door.
Okay, girl next door.
Not the girl next door.
Nice.
Neutral lip. Let me see. I'm giving you guys a nice neutral lip. Let's see if you can really see it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Oh, look at you. Gassing me up. Thank you.
Nah, ain't no gas. It's all facts. It's all facts. Ain't no gas around here.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
What the laces at?
CG. Hey, boy.
Who's up? Yeah, all right. Well, the laces. I just got the Union twos.
Oh, okay.
One of my favorite twos. Yep. Nothing too special, but figure why not?
Okay.
I like that blue on the bottom. That color is really a pop of color.
I'm not gonna bother you.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm not gonna bother you. Planet Paper Boy, you're a friend of the show, so I'm not gonna bother you.
Right. No, bother me. It's all good, man. It's all right.
We'll take that from behind the scenes. I ain't gonna bother you.
Okay.
It's your first day on the show. Now, if it was Juggernaut, I would bother him a little bit.
It matches your pants perfectly.
Yeah, he
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
The MP6s for me today.
Okay, those are dope. I thought those the Memphis Sixers. I thought those the new joints that's coming out soon. The silver joints.
The MP6s.
Those
And
colors,
today's
that black.
Okay, Jack and Jones, I see.
I like those.
Oh, those are pretty. What is that? What's the pattern?
He came on camera to show his shoes.
Wow.
The whole episode, and you come on camera to show your shoes.
Right. He been off camera the whole time.
I'm digging those though.
Yeah, those are nice.
Tom Ford, New York Extreme. So that's the scent today. I guess I'm rocking with the black and gold today.
Okay, that's what's up.
All right.
You remind me of the package that they're putting on all the cars. They're putting that dark package on all the new cars.
Yeah.
Like dark grill, matte, dark grill, dark,
Yeah,
all the framing is dark.
Some of them call it midnight pack. Some of them call it.
Yeah. Giving me the midnight pack today, Retro. Just putting it out there.
Look at Jack and Jordan's with one of my kicks over there with the sketch of the shelves. But tonight I kept it real simple. Columbia Blue, Columbia Lows.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get the new ones when they come out? The high versions are coming back out with those next year.
Of course.
Yeah.
And tonight's scent is that Versace Eros.
Okay.
Well, I don't have a nice scent. I'm going with my musk. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta step it up. I'm going with the natural musk.
Okay, Marvin.
Mine is straight VO, so I don't have on no scent today. Mine is straight VO.
I took on a little trick with the scents. After I cleaned up a little bit, I put the little mix with the beer oil and
Okay, nice.
PG.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with staying oiled up.
Nah, none at all, man.
At all. I prefer it.
Oil in.
Yep.
Preferable.
I prefer it.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us as usual. Thank you, DeMarcus. Special shout out to you for the super chats. We really appreciate the love you guys show. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We'll probably be back later on this week and do something. I don't know yet. We got some other shows that we're talking about, wanting to get in here and review. Really B's got to get me on Reasonable Doubt, so we might end up talking about that.
It's so good.
So we got some new things that we're going to talk about, and then of course we're going to do a little bit of twist with the true crime. We're trying to get that set up, so we're going to probably do some well-known cases, probably like Biggie, Tupac.
Okay.
So we're going to probably do some of those on the true crime segments, and then me and Really Beat TV, we always have a good case to bring to you guys. So those of you who like true crime, stick around for that. We'll be producing some of that real soon. I don't know, me and Miss Honey might do Castle and Castle, So we might have some
things. What happens.
We'll see what happens.
Make sure you shout out the ladies in the chat too now, because these ladies are coming in hard. They got some great comments.
Always listen. You guys are the best.
That's right.
On YouTube, because a lot of y'all, I'll be talking to y'all during the week. Y'all be hitting us up on the comments, and I'll be down here talking to y'all in the week. So, I really appreciate that. You guys are the best chat. Y'all have some of the great theories, and some of us are on the same page. And look, if any of you guys ever want to be on the show, please hit us up. We love to have other people come on the panel and talk to us. Special shout out to our special guest, Mr. Planet Paperboy in the building.
Thank you for having me. It was a hell of a time. Thank you for having me. You guys are amazing.
A lot of fun. A lot of great points.
Hopefully we need to get Xavier on here. We need to get DeMarcus on here. I would love to have all of you on here. I would love to have all of you on here.
I would love to come back. It's an amazing show, man. Everyone like and comment. Retro is doing some big things with Soul Fur, man. Everyone hit that like button, man. It's not hard, man, but it's definitely appreciated.
Make sure you drop Planet Paperboy's link. Do you have a channel?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
The channel. Drop your. Hey, that's right. You do YouTube videos too, so he does a lot of the sneaker content.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
In the show, Planet Paperboy, drop your stuff in the chat.
What were you saying? Really?
It's just at Planet Paperboy. That's basically my YouTube name, and just look at the catalog. I'm coming up with videos. I'm trying to come up with videos every time I get a W on the sneakers app, but that's basically how the game goes. So I got 2 more videos coming up soon. So hopefully I'll see some more likes, see some more views.
And you're Planet Paperboy on Instagram too, right?
Yep, Planet Paperboy everywhere. Yep, that's my name.
All right. I'm on it. I'm subbing right now.
I appreciate it, guys. New videos coming soon, man. Thank you for having me, man. It was amazing tonight. Hopefully that finale is just as good, man. I'm kind of nervous. Right? Usually finales kind of, usually they kind of try to cram up so much in one episode that it can make or break it. But keeping my fingers crossed that they're going to do this one good.
But see, that's one of the things that we get frustrated with a lot too, because we do feel like they cram too many story arcs in an episode, and we lose focus on a lot of things. Like I felt like this episode we should have spent time with some other scenes. We spent too much time with Jimmy. We spent too much time with Bert. We spent too much time with the crackhead. Like what we want to see is what we see less of. Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it can be good. I think the next season, Ghost season 3 is gonna be really good. I'm really looking forward to where they're going with that one.
All right, y'all. I gotta go.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week.